time it is, buddy?
Fever time?
Yeah, man!
Fire.
Everything that you carry, any luggage you take, all the ghosts you keep in hiding, they don't scare me away. No, 'cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. There's a past that keeps on calling, or if it keeps you awake. I won't let a scar keep me from your lips. I'll catch every tear from your face. 'Cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you.
Come on, Mark.
Uh-oh.
You'll draw him in like a moth to flame.
I am less afraid.
This is for the best.
Let me adjust the microphone for you, Doctor. How's that?
Have a nice night.
Well?
Oh, what?
Now we dance.
Oh, no.
It's not for you. It's for them.
But I have to go.
Now we dance.
What is it you've got running all through your veins? Well, I'm here to tell you, you've got the fever, and it's hard to tame. What is your passion? And baby, I'll tell you what my pleasure be. Well, it's fever for the showing, Be it horror, thrills, or fantasy. They give us fever with some sci-fi. Baby, we'll burn until we supernova all night long. Keep it coming, we love a good mystery. In the day you can feel it, during the night so hot it'll bring you to your knees. Well, it's fever for the showing, be it horror, thrills, or fantasy. They give us fever with some sci-fi. Baby, we'll burn until we supernova all night long.
What is up, everybody? Happy Friday to you all, and we are finally done with this season. No, I'm just kidding. It was a hell of a season finale for Severance Season 2. It is in the bag, folks, and they have set it up nicely for Season 3, or at least in my opinion. And joining us tonight, as always, we got my bestie, Miss Dana, up there hanging out with us tonight. What's up, Miss Dana? How you doing? How you feeling?
Good. Another show down, another season down.
Right?
Ready to go talk some Severance dance party.
Hey, look, we got a dance party and a bite all in this episode as well. I felt like it was a weird callback, but I loved it. And Milkshake, however you want to say his name, he got down, man. He's got moves. And he don't mind getting up on folks either. He'll get all up in your face with it. And then he was a hell of a drum major. I give him that much.
He got into it. He really
did.
Yeah.
And how are you doing tonight, Brian from Shook Earth Media? Welcome, hun.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing very well. Really excited about this finale. I thought it was really good, really special. I love this show, so really excited to get into it.
Nice. I cannot wait. And joining us, as always, last but certainly not least, Mr. James from The Walking Dead Explained. How are you feeling tonight? How you doing? You ready for the weekend?
Oh yeah, feeling good, doing great. Good to see you guys. Great to be here to talk about the finale with you, because it was, in my opinion, a great finale to the season. So yeah, can't wait.
Nice. I know. I cannot wait. Even on the thumbnail, I'm like, all these little things. I was like, oh God. There was actually, for me, it was quite a bit as well. I'll probably ramble as always, because there was a lot to get into tonight. But before we do, let's welcome everyone who has joined us in the chat. And of course, we got Mr. Dark Elf first and foremost. What is up, hun? Holla, my people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to you, hun. And we still going to get down this weekend on some Marvel Rivals. I heard you was practicing. I got practice too. Don't take my Wolverine, yo. And we got the teacher in the house, Miss Jen. How are you doing tonight, hun? Welcome. I can't read that. I know they said it in the episode, and I couldn't even repeat it after they said it. Right?
Devour feculence.
Yeah, the feculence. Yeah. I could do the devour. It was the feculence. I still can't even say it right after you guys say it. The southern accent screws it up even more. So I was
immediately like, he just said eat shit. I love it.
I know. And I didn't say that. I can't, and it just makes it even worse.
I have a family thing tomorrow. I have a couple family members I could say that to.
Right. And it's nice if they really don't know, because then they think it sounds fancy and that you're saying something nice, possibly.
I have a niece that'll know. She's like a big word person, and I'm gonna say it to her.
I always find it funny is when if you don't know what it says, but it's a nice big word and they think it sounds fancy, and they're like, oh, well, yes, of course. And you're like, oh,
yes, I am very feculent. Why, thank you.
Right? You're like, oh,
You sound very educated.
Exactly. Well, they can't show that they don't know what it means, so they have to pretend they're like, oh, thanks.
Right? Because you got to either be like, you piece of shit, or oh no, thank you, absolutely. Which one is it? I don't know.
I could see my niece just standing there silent, staring at me for a couple minutes, just thinking, Did he say what I think he said?
Right.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means?
And she'll be like, after you first.
Right?
Yes, let's share.
Oh,
I
God.
don't think she watches the show, so she wouldn't know.
Right.
You're going to find out. Just start randomly using it. Let's see who can figure it out. And what is up to the Grumbledore? Welcome, hon. Hope you're having a great Friday as well.
Busy bee. He's a busy bee.
That he is. He is a very, very busy bee. Let's see. I remember what I'm doing here. Okay, screenshots. There we go. We're gonna share.
We need the screenshots.
I
That is
know.
necessary.
Pressing buttons here. Yes, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, I think
Can we
this
name
episode,
everyone?
it had a
Maybe.
lot of great content, but several things, I think anyway, was just for the fans. Like, okay, I'm gonna, in this finale, or the producers, writers, whatever, we're gonna give like 2 or 3 things to the fans.
Mhm.
Like the goat. The goat for sure.
The painting, including every character, you know, from
Yeah.
every scene of everything that happened, and several things. So I think some of it was just like, let's maybe even the extended drum dance party thing, because everybody loved his dance from the last time. So they're like, let's double up on it.
And we finally got all the lights changing colors again.
Yeah.
After
Smoke
like not doing
machines.
that.
Yeah, everything. We got extra.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. They had to
Like I
amp
said, the
everything up.
milkshake thing, that
Yep.
all this stuff too, where they were doing this weird kid trippy shit.
Yeah, yeah. That was like the waffle party all over again with how like awkward that was when Milchek comes out too.
Yep.
That was so good. And
So-
he genuinely got Egan pissed off.
So there it is.
So they let Dylan come back. What do you think would have happened to Mark if once he finished, you know, if none of this, they knew anything was going on, but they finished Cold Harbor? Do you think they would fire him, or they have another job after this, or
The
what
way
would've-
I don't
I
know.
have no
it kind of
idea.
sounded like it was over. MDR would end.
Right, the way Cobell talked about it particularly, and I can't remember if anyone else, like the James, Egan, or Milchek or Drummond, or any of them talked about MDR particularly being dismantled. But I know that Cobell in this episode particularly told that to Mark, and I don't know if that was to the whole time, like as we go through this, I don't know if some of the stuff being said by people of the Lumen Company, whether they are still part of it or like Miss Cobell kind of on the outskirts, if what they're telling Mark is truth, or to try to, you know, manipulate him or convince him to do something. And that goes for the doctor as well as at the end of the episode when he's going up the elevator with Gemma. So I don't know how much of stuff is being said through this episode. So yeah, I'm curious what you guys think too, because I'm kind of on the fence with it.
I think Cobell told the truth, but it's like she did it because she has her own motivations for it. She doesn't care about Gemma, in my opinion. Or she says she cares about Mark, and you kind of buy that because of all the weirdness with her pretending to be somebody else, and you know, having a like weird motherly kind of neighborly relationship with him in the prior season. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what her motivation is, but I don't think she cares about Gemma personally, because again, she helped put her in that position, right? Like this whole thing was her idea in a sense.
Right. And even more so, we can even take it further, right? Because when she's having this conversation with Mark, whether it's his innie or his outie, she's kind of going and telling, like, after he does the whole camera thing with himself back and forth, and he's like, oh, he's being a child, right? Then she's kind of telling him about how to, you know, you need to go in there, and you're the innie's going to help her up to this point. You're going to go to the elevator. Well, she knew the whole time that there was no way for him to get to like a certain point, it seemed like, because when he put the key card in, there was no way for him. How was he going to get into the elevator?
Yeah,
she made it
like
out like he was. So really, was it just to get him? Again, that's why I question her motives in that conversation. Was it just to get him to finish Cold Harbor? If she knew he already knew enough information that her telling him, well, yeah, Jim is gonna, she's gonna die either way, kind of thing. Or if you just go in there and then you got to quickly go down there and save her. How was he really like? He kind of lucked out that Drummond was there and all that shit went down, and the blood on his shirt, right? Like all that he lucked out with. To be fair.
yeah.
So again, that's
Well,
why
maybe
I
she just
question.
knows like he's a problem solver. So she's like,
Well,
I
yeah.
can't tell you exactly how you're gonna get in there,
Well,
but
she said he's a, what was it early on when she sees episode 1 or so, when she was leaving from the house next door to him and she was like talking shit to him. I forgot how she worded it, but was basically saying like, you're so easy, Mark. Like you're just easy to manipulate. You're easy to kind of persuade into doing. It's like, did they even give you a pineapple or some shit like that?
right, yeah. Yeah, he came over with the plate of, fruit to convince him to come back. So, yeah, no, that's a good point.
And like I said, I'm not sure. Like I'm on the fence with it because she does seem to care. But again, where is that care truly falling? Is it falling for Mark because she cares for him, or about the program that she created and now she wants to have full control over because she feels the company screwed her?
I think she probably looks at him like a pet, like
Mhm.
he is kind of beneath her because she created, the severance
Right.
technology. So he's like a pet project more than like an actual human being to her, because ultimately, would you really put somebody through that if you actually cared about them? The whole severing thing.
Yeah, well,
So
she is the one that told him, set him down, and it's like, look, dude, here's what the numbers mean, and you won't be needed once you finish Cold Harbor. So that's kind of something they're going on. Even once back inside with Heliar, he tells her, and Heliar tells him back, like, well, it doesn't matter either way what you do.
Yeah.
If Miss Cobell is right. So
I don't know that he was going to go through with it until Helly basically like said, just do it, That was a crucial scene.
Oh, that was a moment right there. That might have been to me anyway, the whole episode was a kind of an emotional ride, but this part right here kind of actually got me a little bit stirred in the, the eyeballs, you know what I mean?
In the feels. No, I got you, man. I'm with you. That was an emotional moment.
Yeah,
and the way they did it too, like understated, whispering because they don't want to be heard. This is a moment just for them. It was very meaningful. So, really good stuff.
It was pretty good. Yeah, because he didn't know what to do. It was a good episode because it felt like there were at least 2 episodes in here. They kind of mashed into one, and it was super long compared to what we're I should say super long, but compared to the 37 or so minute when they gave us this season, this was like really good for, what was it, like an hour 15-ish,
double size. Yeah,
it was action packed, and once the band started, it was just,
oh my god, I'm sorry. Yes, I've got to still clip that. We're gonna do another Severance stream because I didn't have enough time to clip, and
it didn't stop till the end of the episode.
I don't care. We're gonna do one, and I don't care if we
it.
get a strike for it, but I'm gonna somehow splice that whole thing together with his other dance scene from like season 1. And because it was good. Hang on, I'm clicking too many things. Oh crap, hang on. But yeah, this was good.
Yeah, really creative, and it's like the graduation ceremony, like homecoming.
Yeah,
it
was like a cadence that started like even when Dylan, he hears it and he's walking down the hall, he's walking to the beat. Everything's to the beat in the editing and just the way it flows. It's great.
Yeah.
And welcome Faith and Repentance and Keely. Glad to see you guys with us.
Hello.
But yeah, I'm sorry, because it was the first part of the episode was almost not an episode in itself, but just the way the episode flowed from the point of Mark kind of going through that struggle. And then we get to, especially how she compared everything, and they give us all these visuals with Woe and everything.
Yep.
And then we get to
I think they didn't realize that we figured all that stuff out with the
Right.
writers, you know.
Well, to me, it was more like a confirmation, right? It's kind of like closing and tying it up. Like we kind of already know it, but just in case anybody wasn't this is where we're going with it, just in case.
Yep.
Because you know it is kind of hard unless you were really like we paid attention to it in a sense to where people were paying attention to the photos, right? I can't remember how well they fully actually said it, or how much of it was that we were paying attention to the photos of the program. That kind of helped us really confirm that that was what was going on. Because if you're just watching it, I don't know how many people were just like, I don't know. I can't remember now going back because I know how we just try to meticulously look through everything. But so, yeah, they had to make sure for everybody that we understand. But this was good. This was really good. This was a good lead up to, like, we're getting this two-sided kind of deal in the episode. It just, this cult shit is real. It's creepy. And
but what's with the doppelgangers? We still don't know.
The baby.
The
that's his sister and what's his name and the baby.
Yeah.
Everybody
like
who has been associated with
like
right.
Yeah.
Everybody associated with Mark in this particular like way, even up to the top. I don't know if those are
that's the Egans.
The Egans,
yes.
Yeah.
With Helena in the middle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you got and then we got the
check out Natalie's eyes.
Yeah,
they even painted her eyes big.
Yeah, I got some other ones when we get to that one too. But we got this one. Look, even the other security dude.
Yeah, they're all there, man. Yeah. They're all there.
Now, I can't remember who these people are. I'm going to get to a better photo of them.
Those are the duplicates.
The duplicates. Okay. I couldn't tell. I thought they were, but they painted them weird. And I was
I think they're supposed to not exactly be right.
Right? Because it freaked me out at first. I'm like, oh, the fuck? And then, of course, that's the other MDR folks and some people from Optics. There's Pete.
Oh yeah, I didn't recognize Pete at first.
Yeah, and the people in the very back's other people from what's his name's party.
Mm-hmm. Talking about Optics or whatever, or which party? No, you're talking about his party. Yeah. That's the chick. That's the chick that was trying to.
Sharing
the glasses chick. Yeah, the book club or whatever. And the dude that was like,
I found the baby.
Yeah. So yeah, this was wild painting, man. We get some little bit better images of them.
Yeah, that's the Egans, all right.
And
they're all looking to her.
Right? And she's depicted in 3 different ways in the painting because of her different, your doppelganger or whatever.
Yeah.
Twin. Yeah. And then her outie or any.
One of the best lines in the show is when she turned to her dad, but she was Heliar on the 7th floor. She's like, "This is so fucking weird," or whatever she said. Or "You're so fucking weird."
Yeah. He's like, he's a weird guy.
And the teacher says,
"Waterfall in the world."
Mm-hmm. Yes, on the top of the tallest waterfall stands the Egans. They did indeed. Even the replacement MDRs.
Yeah.
It is past that time. We've been puffing for a while now. But yes, as Dana says, spark it if you got it.
Yeah,
teacher's ready too. She's like, oh shit.
That's right, my fellow New Yorker.
Oh, guys, it's gonna get crazy around here, folks.
Hey, the stream started at 4:20 and it ends at 4:21. So
that's right.
The whole time is smoke time.
That's right. It's 4:20 somewhere.
Not for me. I disavow for legal reasons.
That's fine. We understand.
Okay.
Sorry,
you don't need it. You're funny without it. You're happy without it. So sometimes you're a naturally high person.
Hey, I'll take it as a compliment. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Bert's looking like he's maybe under something too. Like, look at his eyes. I can see a little red in there.
Well, yeah, we already know Bert. He's messed up. He's with the company hardcore. He's
a soldier, basically.
Right. Yep. He just drives them there. He doesn't know what happens after.
Sure, he doesn't.
Allegedly.
I think he
But he
might.
still cared enough about Irv to let him go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking
Like, he
forward to
didn't
seeing
have to
more
do
about that.
that. You know, if it was his job to be a killer of some sort, you know, that just goes to show that he actually cared for Irving and was like, yo, get on this train, don't look back. Because
Yeah,
I have a feeling like if he's like, if you come back, like I'll have to really kill you then.
right. Or he was lying and the train's gonna take Irv back to Lumen, you know?
Oh,
Or
that would be messed up.
Yeah.
what a twist. No, I think you're right. He rode off into the
The
sunset.
train just goes to somewhere else fucked up.
Yeah, or just like goes off a cliff or something. Pew!
Hmm.
But yeah, I
That would be
really
so
thought it was
horrible.
interesting starting the episode with Egan talking to Helly. I didn't think that they were going to go back there for this opener here, but like when she was about to stab him and everything. But he's talking about seeing the fire of Kier, so I think we all interpret that to mean that he doesn't want his daughter, he wants this version of
Yeah.
her to lead the
Yeah.
company.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so she's up on top of the waterfall as Helly R, not as Helena, right?
Well, I'm not sure about that for sure, but maybe. I see where you're going with it.
Yeah.
Possibly. I'm on the fence with that one. Let me think about it and come back to me.
But I do think he means I see it in you. I don't see it in the other version of you. So, you know, that means a lot.
What do you think it is? Is it the passion that she has, like the actual emotions that she has? Because the version of her outside of this world here is like very cold and detached.
Well, again, it goes back to if you're going to follow the story of the Egans, and we haven't gotten a full depiction of that story. We got Dieter. And if we're assuming that those tales are even somewhat close to true, which we know they're not, you start to think about what was Kier actually? What kind of man was he? So what does the family actually value, right? As opposed to what it tells its followers are values.
Right.
So when he's saying, I see the fire of Kier, well, we already know, like we already speculated, I should say, that Dieter is basically Kier, right? And that as he ridded himself of those tempers, almost of those twins, one could say. But really, those were still him, and those were maybe more his true self on how he actually got the company where it was, as opposed to saying, no, we don't want our, I don't want to say peasants, but we don't want our, congregation or our, underlings to be able to truly be a Kier. We want them to mimic what we want them to think is Kier. But truly, the values of Kier are not what they seem to be. That's possibly where I was taking it, or I kind of thought about it, because I'm thinking like, okay, if you think of a cult, of course the leader's telling you, oh, we're this, all these nice things, and if you follow these rules and you do these nice things, and this, our leader is so, a grand person, and he's got all these nice things about him, but really him or she or whoever that person is most likely not a very good person. They're most likely not following the same principles that they are telling their followers to follow, right?
Yeah. And like they bring up they have those values, right? That you mentioned. And one of them was vision. They have a joke about it in the Kier scene with Milchick. But like, if they really cared about vision, they would want everybody else to share in the vision, and there wouldn't be this mystery of like, what do the numbers mean? Like, why would they need to be severed if they want everybody in the company to have that vision? So yeah, that's a great point. Like they have these as values, but they're coded. It doesn't actually mean what they say it means, right?
And I think he even in this conversation particularly was telling her, he was like, I seen it in my daughter when she was younger. As she grew up, it kind of like left her. I forgot exactly how he phrased it. But again, you would think of a child as having more of those tempers, right? More of those, because most children are not in control, right? You learn to kind of control your anger, to control all these different things as you grow up. So if he
Yeah.
saw Kira in her as a child, one would think, okay, well, maybe as a child she was rambunctious, right? Because she even, as her outie self, he's very much so dismissive, but she seems to very much so try to follow the core principles as best as she can. She seems very refined, very that, kind of within the lines kind of thing, very much wants to follow whatever it is, even to the point to where when she no longer wanted to go back in as her innie, she still went with what the program was. You would think that would be something that would be commemorated, but her father obviously doesn't appreciate that. He wants her to, he probably would have wanted her to fight against the board and say, no, this is what I'm going to do, kind of thing, so it depends. I guess it's how do you look at it? And I see it now. They've displayed in this episode more of the cult behavior, or confirmed more of that behavior within the last couple episodes, to sort of show. They even, to the point in this episode, we get the garb with the goat, right? Like the goat and the thing that the chick had to wear. I was like, okay, yeah, that's what they're doing here. I mean, it's full on. This dude's kind of crazy. The family's crazy. And for whatever reason, they think this is, I don't understand the full scope of what is going on with it. But do you have to understand the full scope of crazy to know that there's some crazy shit going on here?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's just,
it's also
wild.
think about it like this, when it comes to his daughter, he raised the other version. And it's almost like he didn't see what he wanted to see in her. But now you have Helly R, who's almost like this redo for him. Like, she has everything allegedly that he said his daughter had when she was younger. Well, this version of Helly R is almost a baby. So all that fire, all that he saw in his daughter when she was younger, he's seeing in the innie, because that's basically what they are in a sense. So he's
if
seeing in her what he saw in his daughter, and that's why he's more fixated on her.
Yeah.
Like in a sense.
Yeah, totally.
That is her.
Yep, Brienne of Tarth.
Right, that is her.
Yeah,
and she kicked ass, And he was fucking kick drummer's ass. I was like, yes, girl. I'm sorry. I don't know if she really would have been able to. I mean, yeah, I'm Brian. Mark helped her in choking his ass out a little bit too. But yeah, I was like, hell yeah. And she took a hell of a slap too, man.
She took a couple, I think.
She took a lot of drummers.
Yeah, that was an intense fight.
Sorry, I'm bouncing all around the place now, making it hard on myself.
It's all good.
Screenshots. But no, she was.
Oh, I love that scene.
Yeah,
but yeah, they don't. They didn't even think about oh yeah, if we create a whole personality whose job it is to take care of goats, what is going to happen when we have to sacrifice them, which apparently is what they're there for. So, of course she's not going to want to. She's grown attached to these things.
Right.
And when we saw them, we went to that department.
I was so happy she fought for that little baby goat. I was like, that's right. Somebody's got to fight for that poor little baby before his big fat chunk lord sits there and just puts a bullet in the poor little goat.
I got to get some better screenshots to go back. I try to get some shit on the side of this damn altar.
Yeah, I'm sure
it ain't right though.
In there. But yeah, and she said that goat was the kindest one or something like that. What was it exactly? He asked her is that the best goat you have? Basically, she's like, yes.
And somehow it being upside down, there's sunshine coming from it.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I got sunshine vibe lines, but then again, I didn't get the manual to know what their lines meant with their how they
So you guys are telling me that you don't sacrifice goats for power?
Not
I've never tried it, but now that you mention it, maybe.
I mean, that's not a typical thing that goes on around these parts. But,
I'm a good witch. We don't be killing no little baby animals and doing those sacrifices and stuff like that.
No. Well, you notice here the goat's on its back, right? And that's how you put a baby to sleep. And then meanwhile, in the Cold Harbor room down below, we have her taking apart a baby's crib, right?
Yeah, that's a whole nother Oh,
Yeah. But it's kind of like similar, like reverse images, because she's taking this apart.
yeah,
You
we
know,
got this going on too. We got
yeah, Milchek. I almost felt bad for him when he was locked in there.
well,
They've got us to like him a little bit as it's gone on. Because he even in this episode, talks back to Egan in a way that didn't seem scripted. I don't know about you guys, but that statue seemed to have a bit more life in it than I think they wanted us to think.
right.
Yeah, like he was bringing up the whole, oh, that's so verbose, because he
I
knows
don't
that's
know.
what bothers them.
This was fucking beautiful. All right, so yeah, we get to 100%, folks, and the smoke
Yeah,
starts to come in. We get dance party.
and I
Well, in a
thought
minute,
of the Wizard of Oz right away, right?
it was
Like
something.
this is the man behind. There's a man behind the curtain,
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think of the Emerald City,
Right, I
with
can
the
see that.
smoke and the theatrics. It's got to be a reference, right? Bring that. Who's the guy who had the color theory? Get
Oh
him back on.
yeah,
He'll agree
Robert.
with me.
He might. You never know. Robert loves him. He's good on the color theory stuff, so he could. He's good with the numbers.
But yeah, it was
See
like
what you
this
guys
guy's a
are saying.
machine, right? But there's somebody puppeteering it, right? Or
Mhm.
maybe it's Egan's consciousness in a computer. Who knows what the secret of this thing is?
Oh, I thought Drubbed was controlling it.
Do we see him control it? I don't know.
No, I just assumed the way that he was talking to Milchek and Milchek was talking back
That would
to
make
him.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
think
would
And the
make
fact
sense.
that Drummond came from downstairs, the elevator, he came from like downstairs
Yeah.
elevator room up and then went across to the goat room,
Yeah.
sacrifice room, whatever that.
Well, he's like the Undertaker, right? He just kind of lives under there. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, we can get to that too. I got some theories going on with. But what's up? I want to say what's up to all city pigs, and let's see what some of you guys. Yes, it was
What's
Knight
up?
of the. Yes, she was. She was Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Miss
The Severed
Rihanna.
Kingdom.
The Severed
Love it.
Kingdom. Yep.
Love it. Clever.
Yes.
Very
See, because
true.
I didn't even properly read it all the way. God damn it! I ruined it. And you had a good bit. Where'd she go?
We got it. We got it in the end.
Wait.
Figured it out.
I want to show it before she gets her ass kicked. There she is. Yeah, there she is. And then we get
Yep.
her. And
What's
she's-
that? What's the necklace she's got on, like in the center, or the metal?
That's
the metal
weird
thing?
because there's 1, 2, 3,
There's
4, 5, 6. We have the
Yeah.
9 principles, and we have what the 4 or
Yeah,
5
like
tempers.
what are there 6 of? And I
That's
see
what
like
I
a
was
bird,
curious.
like lower.
Yeah, hang on.
left
Let me
looks
see. I
like a
got some
bird.
better ones of her somewhere. Hang on, we have to get through. Let's see.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
Kira's mad disrespectful. It was on purpose, but it kind of did go both ways because he dissed him about his height.
Hang on. I'm way. Here we go. There you are. I'm way behind on the chat. But yeah, this was 2 the ram goats.
Yeah,
We've seen in some other depictions. And then, like, this whole thing to me was just, I was like, she's in full guard for this thing, man. And the hair and everything. I'm like, come on, man. This is so pagan. Ritualistic stuff going on here, man. Which
well,
is
we
like,
saw them back
yeah,
there. They're
yeah.
living an animalistic lifestyle. They're
and
all
then now with
dirty
the dude wearing the goat suit too, like we all joked about it being weird like that. But now look at this shit. It was
Yeah.
there the whole fucking time. This some bitch.
Yep. It wasn't just a tease. The waffle party. That's what they're really about. They're really about that life.
And Susie says people don't understand how cute goats are. Oh, they are. It's very cute. This was Shay. I was like, oh god,
Definitely.
and it was like, yes, it had the most wiles of all. I was like, yeah, it was a playful little thing, man. He was out there romping around, frolicking and shit, and they're all like, he's got to get out of the flock.
Yeah.
He shall be the
that's enough
sacrificial.
fun for you, Mr. Goat.
Right? I was
Or-
like,
I forget what the goat's name was.
I know I did already too. I got sunshine in a bag. I do too. Somewhere around here.
That
I
sounds
know now. I
familiar.
got that song stuck in my head.
Oh
It
yeah,
is.
okay.
The-
Yeah, the
is it
Gorillaz song, right? Yeah. I love Gorillaz.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The necklace has 6 pieces, like Helena's egg breakfast with 6 slices. Ooh,
Really good point. Yeah, it's all
good
split
point.
up.
See, that's why she's the teacher.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. You'll have to see what else there are 6 of.
See, and Susie says if you only knew the magnificence I can't fucking read tonight. Oh my god. Yeah, I've been playing too many games, I guess, today.
Oh, I'm
But yes.
terrible at reading chats on when I stream. I do the same thing.
We only knew the magnificus. Oh, wow.
Magnificent.
No, we're sitting here until you get it right. We're sitting.
No, we're gonna move on. Of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe.
Well, everybody knows the magnificence of 6ix9ine. You know, everybody knows that.
It's the magnificence. See, I still can't say it. I don't know.
It's a hard word to say. That's for
It's
sure.
not even hard. I can't do words apparently tonight. And somehow we manage. Yes, it's the moon pies. Even though I still got to send those to you. By the way, I have them. I got to make it to the post office.
I'm so excited. I'm waiting for those moon pies.
I know y'all are waiting. They're coming, Dana. I promise. Guys, I gotta get to the post office.
Moon pies.
Yeah, we have Minecraft.
They're like friggin' marshmallowy chocolate goodness with filling, and I can't wait to try one.
Oh man, I'm getting a stomach ache just thinking about it.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's gonna be good though. I can't
Yeah, a
do
lot of different
sweets as much anymore.
A moon pie is just like it's a dessert cake thing. It's in a wrapper, and it's like they're kind of like round flat cake pieces with marshmallows in the center, dipped in like some kind of chocolate or glaze type thing. They get like banana flavor, vanilla, chocolate. I think they have an orange, cinnamon, blueberry. There you go. There's some other ones. A lot of different flavors.
I'm looking up moon pie right now. Let's see.
I said I'm Googling. I'm
Googling it.
It's not for everybody.
It's like a pie.
Brian is requesting that you elaborate further on moon
No,
pie.
it's all good.
Damn it, do I have to find it out? I'm gonna get a picture and show everybody moon pie.
It's like a cookie sandwich.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Kinda.
Marshmallow sandwich.
Marshmallow
What it
sandwich.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
And it, it
We
can come
don't
in
have
It
different.
does sound good.
Susie.
It can come in
We're
different.
not-
You can flavor it
We don't
different
get
with
them up
chocolate.
here in New York.
I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't think
get
I've ever
one.
seen it.
It's a southern thing for sure.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Oh, we're
it's not-
missing
it's
out
not
then.
up here.
Hang on.
Exactly.
I'm gonna share my screen.
I'm not a marshmallow fan.
It
So I don't
ain't
like
a
them,
New
but
England thing.
my whole family likes them. I mean, everybody I know eats them around here.
I mean, they're
Well, we've all had
okay.
s'mores, right?
They're
Not a
all right. My
fan.
mom prefers
Yeah.
them when you heat them up in the microwave for a few seconds. A little better warm.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me share it. Here, I'll show everybody.
You know what my cousin used to do is take ice
that's
cream,
moon
put it in the microwave, and then like have
See?
ice cream
Moon
soup is
pie.
what she called it. That was,
I don't
that
want
actually
to
happened.
allow any of that. But yeah, that's just moon pies.
That looks good. That does look good. But yeah, if I started
Right?
eating one of those, I would eat too many of them, and then stomach ache would occur.
It looks like a bigger version of a Malamar, and Malamars are fucking delicious.
Oh my god,
Yeah, it
I
looks
got
pretty
ads
good.
on here because I'm on Chrome. So all right, we're gonna not do this no more. Oh, it kills me. I'm sorry. On my Firefox, I have so many ad blockers.
Yeah, they shut them all down.
Oh no, no.
Great.
YouTube has no. I have my husband is brilliant, and we have outsmarted YouTube.
Oh really? I just pay for YouTube Premium.
I refuse. You
I
know
love
what?
I
YouTube
do
Premium.
too. I
Yeah.
do too.
I
Brian.
don't because you know I
I do
watched
too.
something the other day and they were showing like how much top creators actually make off YouTube, and I'm like, YouTube's a piece of shit sometimes. That's a bullshit. I mean, fuck your ads. You take the money any goddamn ways. You're not giving us anything back, and then you strike us for stupid shit. Your damn bots going around being mean, folks. Paramount, I don't like you
If
either.
I show any
sometimes.
Warner Brothers trailer for more than a minute, YouTube Shorts is like, No, you can't.
Like I said, Paramount told us real quick. Oh hell no.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
AMC does the same thing. Makes Walking Dead
I
reviews a little
love James'
difficult.
explanation in his video. He's like, there's a reason why I could only show pieces of the clips, people, and the trailer. I get something called copyright.
Yep. I only do stills for this exact reason.
Yeah, that's why I was telling somebody today. It took me forever to get these screenshots, not because it takes forever, just because I take forever to take screenshots because I can't do clips too much anymore. I don't want to risk too much.
Well, I
It is
like the
what
way
it
you do it because it's nice laid out and you get the nice stills. Looks good.
We do what we can. We would love to just play some good clips and have a laugh and do things. I have to transform it enough, and I will get back to doing that. We'll transform it. But what's hard about these mystery box shows is that we try to show a clip for like you got to see it, right? Because these are like quick flash frames and stuff. Like I can't transform it because then you don't see what we're trying to show.
Yeah.
Right. And something I've had to just come to terms with as far as the Walking Dead anyway, you gotta assume they've already watched this episode and just go with it. I mean, you kind of just gotta do that. Like, okay, I'm not going to show you the scene or you're not going to get to see it all because of copyright, but you've seen the episode, right? So this is what happened. Let's talk about it.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Right? You've seen it. You watched it.
And,
Let's discuss
and
it.
that's just what it is. I mean,
I do wonder how
is
many
what it
people
is.
watch videos about this show and never have watched it. Just like, I just want to hear what people have to say about it. You always wonder, right?
I do
There's
wonder.
some
I know we
fear.
hear a lot
There's
of
a
people
fear.
tell us that they watch it, not just on our streams, but when we, you're in other chats and stuff, people say, oh, I haven't seen this yet, but they watch, maybe they are subscribed to someone because they watched something else that they covered, but then you're moved on to the next kind of topic or whatever. And they're like, oh, I haven't seen this. I'll go check it out. I'll go watch it. I don't know. We've had people tell us that. I feel like that's a universal thing. So
Yeah.
they get people to want to watch their stuff off of. That's where I have to stay with that stance, otherwise I lose my ground. And that's
yeah.
stay on that ground. I feel like it's high enough. I'm not going to sink if I stand there.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't want to get stuck with, only one show and then that show goes off season. You got nothing.
Right.
Like me. The Walking Dead ended.
Well, at least Walking Dead is like a million shows at this point.
I think 98% of the fan base decided once the ones who live ended that it was kind of over.
Yeah, we got the payoff we wanted, and like the Rick Grimes story feels like a satisfying conclusion.
I mean, I can show you a pipe chart or a chart, of the little graph, probably of my channel doing pretty decent little spikes, and then zoom, it's been a nosedive since the ones who live, as far as the Walking Dead stuff, right?
That's wild.
But
And
yeah, that's why I thought they
though.
weren't going to do it that soon, because I thought they wanted to dangle that out ahead of us for a bit longer.
Yeah, they just didn't do it right.
I think Andrew Lincoln was like, I'm done.
They effed with the fans.
Yeah.
They could have had a cameo by Game of Thrones stars and stuff, like Severance is doing. I didn't actually think we'd get to see this character again. It was just a little one-off thing, but man.
They made sure to bring it back in a spectacular fashion.
That fight, hell yeah.
That was so satisfying.
and Susie does kind of bring up a good point. Why does everyone have glassy blue eyes? Even the goats kind of got these glassy blue eyes. Everybody that's sort of company driven, maybe. And I haven't paid too much attention to it, but when she said that, I'm like, yeah, I noticed the goats. And then y'all were talking about how they painted the one chick's eyes in the picture, like hers were kind of extra poppy, almost like they were kind of blue. I think her eyes were slightly blue, maybe. I have to go back and look at another picture, but yeah,
I'm
have to really pay attention to that
childish nature, with the severed people. But I love the comedy of errors when he shoots the guy by accident.
Oh yeah, that was good. I got it in spectacular form too, right? So he's like getting ready to go down. That's when there's the eye. That's how you know he's in the middle of being in between. There he is. And then
Dude,
it's
I was
like,
like, he's gonna kill him by accident.
It's right there. It actually goes in because he's like himself. And then boop. Oh no, there's the hole. And it sprays him in the face. And we get good spray splatter right there.
It's brutal, man. I loved it.
You're gonna get flagged for gruesomeness content.
I may. It is what it is.
But that was awesome. But the beauty of it, the drum things happening and just the motion and energy started at a certain point and it's still going at this point and it doesn't stop. Like he's just steps over the body.
Oh, I like it. It's right here. This is pretty good, right? Because Drogo comes his ass out here and Mark's just all like, fucker up on the damn door trying to break it down. It's like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna keep. Oh shit! Oh no, he grabbed him.
This
Threw
dude's
him
just a
against the
brick
wall.
wall,
He's a
like this
fucking
guy
punched
drummer.
him. Oh shit!
And it looked like he was trying to kill him,
what's Mark gonna
choking
do?
him.
What's
He
Mark
was
gonna
he
do?
was gonna
Like,
do it. He was gonna
He's gonna
kill
bite
him.
him. That's what he was
Uh,
gonna do.
So obviously he's not to value to them anymore.
Yeah, he's done, right? They don't need him anymore. He's
so
like,
that should have told him.
yeah, he's like, screw you guys. I don't need to deal with your shit anymore. Like, you're done. But yeah, he should have thought more. Like, I was like, that lady has a gun. It's not gonna end well for him.
This was the greatest fight ever. It's like almost damn near frame by frame, but not completely.
Yeah, it was good.
Look, I love this. He's
Swinging him
swung
around on his feet.
I was like, oh shit! Oh shit! He's gonna choke him out.
Yeah, he was gonna do it.
Look at that face.
Yeah, that's not a lot of frolicking happened there. No,
Look.
there's no frolicking going on.
It's right there with the
Yeah.
hand there. I love it.
Do you think he tattooed it because he's like, I need to remind myself to frolic every now and again because he just doesn't have that in him? Like, he's like,
Maybe.
I have that on me tattooed as a reminder.
Oh shit! You should just shot.
Yeah. Well, the innocence of the innies is like none of them want to kill anybody, which is why that when they wrote it that this guy's got to die, they made it an accident, right? You know,
They
Helly
shoot
didn't
his
stab
ass.
her dad, right? You know, even though she threatened it. And I was thinking, like, he gets shot in the neck, right? And that's where you'd have to go. If she was going to stab him with the pen, you got to go for the neck or there's no point in doing it.
Right?
So,
That's how
like,
I feel.
we got that payoff at the end of the episode with the actual, you know, same stab that she threatened at the beginning. You know, it's the whole Chekhov's gun thing where you present something at the beginning and by the end it happens, you know?
Yeah. And they were casting, they're like writing it. They're like, okay, we need a chick to fight Drummond. I mean, who can fight this guy? I mean,
Just
Julianne of Tarth. I mean, that's the only one.
She's the only one. That is a great point. They definitely had that in mind for casting. Like, she's got to help kill this guy who's this massive dude. She's the only one who could do it.
Yep.
Face
Yeah, it's
was all
all
malice. It
malice.
was his face. You talking about his or hers? 'Cause I
True.
know his was.
And he's the one who wanted to kill the goat, which the goats, like the horned ones, represent malice, right? And this is an innocent one, but you see the horns coming in, right?
Mhm.
So he would turn into a malice eventually.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm digging too deep.
I know,
into the
right? No,
symbolism.
it's possible, but
Yeah.
it seems like the goats are there to. So far, just
It's so
as part of
creepy about her
a-
smile, though.
a weird ritual.
And
That
she has no
apparently-
eyebrows because she doesn't know how to do her makeup right, I guess. I don't
know. They gave her no eyebrows. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah,
But
there's
it was
something-
weird because she's like, how many more? However many the
Yeah.
founder like requires, or how he said it. I'm like,
all of them, probably.
I'm like, oh shit. What happens to the other ones?
I don't know.
Do they go to be?
Are they all
Is it
for
like their
sacrifice?
milk is the best milk for goat cheese or something? I don't fucking like. I don't know. What's the deal? What do you do with them after? Keep them somewhere?
Well, they had this room and stuff, so obviously they probably do it often.
Yeah.
But
It's
it
not
raises
just
the
a one-time
question.
thing.
Yeah, it raises the question about, you know, why Mark, Gemma, and they supposedly have other Lumen industries and floors and stuff, severed floors. So, you know, will this end everything severed? Is this what everybody was working on across the board and they finally got it? Or, you know, is a different building, a different place working on something else? Or the same thing with just a different couple, a different Mark and Gemma?
Yeah.
It may be a lot bigger than this, or
Because they talked him up as the most important person ever.
Yeah,
But maybe
in
that's
the
just
world.
for this.
Yeah, like the tallest waterfall in the world.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But also it's like when she went topside, you know, the doctor was saying you'll kill all of them, meaning all the 25 lives, I guess, that they had built for her. I guess she killed them once she went topside. Is that what he meant?
Maybe. Yeah.
She
I was
said,
wondering about that.
well, I
Like,
wonder
what
if
did
we
that
remember
mean? You'll
that
kill
too.
them
I
all.
thought he was like, yeah. I didn't know if he meant. I thought he was just threatening Mark possibly to make him like not continue forward, or that she was gonna do something in the outside that was gonna be crazy. But no, it could just be killing off all of her personalities. Or
Well, when the red lights come on and you even see Milchek kind of like start to almost like accept his fate, like have some sort of dread. I was thinking like, are they just gonna gas this whole level right now, or just like, you know, blow it up? Or
right.
like is everybody down here dead and that's why he's so desperate to get out? Like what is it, just because he's trapped in that bathroom? Like what does he need to do? He needs to get Mark so he doesn't escape with Gemma, or like what is going through Milchek's mind right now?
Oh, he's ready to go take out MDR and
Yeah.
deliver some punishment. He was ready.
Yeah. When he finally come out, he jumped up on that thing like a tiger, like, okay. But then he saw all the band looking at him like, nah, we changed sides,
This was
dude.
good. He was pounding it, and he got that thing to drop.
I thought he might have squished Dylan there.
I did it first. I was like, where'd Dylan
Yeah, I
go?
was
But
like,
then I was
"No,
like, oh
Dylan."
shit. Dylan's like back at the band to back him.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's mad. I love how Milchek ran away earlier. Like he gave him the slip of paper and then runs.
Yeah, he's
Right?
like, but I'm kind of busy, so you got to go through this shit by yourself, yo.
He's like, don't hit me again.
And then he took off running. I did laugh out loud
Same.
when he did
That was the funniest part of the episode.
You know, I couldn't get him actually to run. He ran out the door. It was fucking fast. That guy who idea of running down the hallway.
Yeah.
He's getting
Well,
ready.
the
He had to
last
get ready
time
for
there was
the
a
band.
dance thing, he got beat up. And now this dance thing, he gets beat up again. He's never going to want to dance in his whole life. He's going to
Imagine the practice they had to do for that.
I mean, this was lit as fuck, man. It was getting down. They were like, what? They did not know what the hell was going on. This shit
I didn't
right here.
either. I was like, what is happening?
When Ben Stiller and the creator dude's like, we got to top what we did last time. They're like, full band.
Full marching band, boy. They got
extras.
down.
And it's a different department on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was it? And merriment, something.
Choreography and
merriment. Yeah. Well, and then when he got the baton, he was ready to go full on. That's when you knew he was getting ready to get down. He did, boy.
Well, it's funny how they're always like making fun of Milchek for being verbose, and then they name a department choreography and merriment instead of just, you know, band or whatever.
Right. It was almost like a way to just kind of stick it to him. I don't know. It was being mean to him.
Well, they found the one thing he's probably really proud of, which is, you know,
His
intelligence,
yeah.
right? And just found a way to make it a negative.
And teacher loves the lighting of blue and green. I know it was fun, and I liked it too. It was really festive, and the band was getting down.
That may be the department Drummond came up through or something. Not Drummond, Milchek. Yeah.
Yeah, look at him, smooth as hell. Ooh, let me check this shit out.
It's just so funny because like he's just the most like cold, detached guy most of the time, and then when he's dancing, it just like feels so phony. I don't know. Like, what is the performance? Is him pretending not to have emotions the performance, or is him dancing the performance? Like, when is the real Milchek? Probably like never, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just always acting.
I don't know.
Right?
He goes home and tells his friends on the outside world, I don't really like my job or the company or the owners, but man, every now and then I get to dance and shit.
Right? Dude, and he danced too, man. He was getting the band going. The band was getting it too. It was all having a good time. What's up, Fletcher?
But yeah, he's always like, you've had your allotted amount of merriment today, gentlemen. That's just his character. The trombone.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was awesome.
But you guys noticed
Yeah.
that he got the mark on the head the same place that Mark got it in the first episode when Helly threw the thing at him.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a mark on his head. Same with the doctor that Gemma hit over the head. He had a Band-Aid in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things coming full circle, you know?
I could have sworn I got. Yeah, here it is. There it is. There's the trombone. There she. Oh, shit.
I felt bad for him at this point. I was like, no.
Well, because he fell back and he actually hit here, right? And then
Yeah.
fell down there. Ooh.
That's quite a
Damn.
stunt. Yeah.
Yep, and there she's taken apart. Oh, goddamn, Gemma. Again,
How
that was the
scary would
whole
that be?
thing.
Like, you don't remember anything, and there's just a room with a crib in it, and they're like, a disembodied voice is like, take it apart.
Right?
Yeah.
And they expected her to trust him.
Yeah.
The barrier is holding.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was great. She had her little moment, just like we got to see for it was like the MDR revamp part 2, right? Like 2.0. She's on
Yeah.
there like, yes, we must revolt. Is it that right, Milchek? I know you watch it and listening.
Yeah, this is the fire of Kier, right? This
Right.
ability to rouse other people to follow you. Maybe that's what he meant. But we've had similar speeches like this before, like when we met the goat people the first time. Mark kind of had a speech there, and then O&D, we had a speech there. But this is the biggest one yet, right? Like each one, there's more people involved, it seems.
Right. Now, I got a question for everybody. Back to where I want to get to that point. We get to Mark. There is he. Hang on. Past the goats. All right. Now. All right. I'm still not past the goats. Hang on. So when Mark gets down there, right, we know that we know that this dude came from down here and he came upstairs. So we know he's got access to the bottom floor. Just like our chick here, right? She's got access through blood. We also know that Drummond's blood is accessed through it, as we see here, right? But Mark's blood was not.
Yeah.
Mark is no access to that. I'm curious, and then just going back to the James earlier in the episode talking to Heliar, and how he was saying to her about him fathering other children in the shadows, and we kind of confirmed it at the lodge.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Drummond, we already speculated about Drummond, right? Is it possible that she is also one of those children if both Drummond and her blood work on that panel?
Part of the family? Maybe. Yeah, maybe there's some genetic trait passed down. But it could just be as simple as there's a certain amount of people that we let in, you know? But yeah, there might be something to that. I mean, it's definitely like an insular cult, you know, family. So it would make sense if most of the people working there are somehow related.
Because these rooms in particular deal with Gemma.
Yeah.
Why would he need access to that room? Was he security to stop her from beating the shit out of the doctor or something? Maybe?
I don't know. And I have to wonder why they use blood and not fingerprints, which that's another thing that makes me think about cloning, because, you know, clones wouldn't have the same fingerprints necessarily, but they would have the same, you know, DNA. So maybe that's why it's blood and not fingerprint, because they have a hand scanner, but all it does is prick your finger, you know, which can't be sanitary.
No. And like Dana gave out some memberships, some 5 memberships. I gotta go and see who got them because I'm not on YouTube. Hey,
Member train.
We got Jen the teacher.
Woo!
Nice.
Susie Seashell, Fletch, our
Nice.
Vic, and our Kiwi skirt.
Nice.
Nice.
So, for everybody,
Congratulations.
you know what? And you, Dana, we can play it.
Whoop, whoop.
Welcome to the fever dream. Fever, you're on fire. Welcome to the burning desire. I said fever. Join the party. We're burning all through the night.
And if
Hey,
I
you're
haven't
happy
said
with
it before, Dana is just the best.
And she is. She's the
I
most
didn't do
giving
nothing.
person I know.
I didn't do
I
nothing.
agree. Everybody here is
It
the
wasn't
best.
You know, the Dana was she She'd give you shirt off her back if she could.
It might not be a designer shirt, but
It'll keep you warm. That's what
all that
matters.
matters.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the important part.
You guys are most welcome. Welcome to the family.
Woo woo.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we
Oh, God.
promise it's better than this family. We don't make you have to give up blood like that. We don't draw blood
Nope.
at the door.
Nope, just go
Yeah.
through the little door to get a chip in your head and you'll be fine.
No, we don't do that here.
Yeah. Just
No,
plug
no.
into the Matrix. It'll be fine.
Fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll make you a robot clone. You know, you won't even know the difference.
My gosh, maybe. I don't know. Do we have the technology here? I don't think we got the funding for that yet.
Not yet, but we're getting
There's
there.
there's the Discord link, everybody. Make sure you're in the Discord so you can stay up to date with all the craziness, the madness, all the stuff we have upcoming. Got to be in the Discord to know what the hell we got going on here, because sometimes me and Scarlett don't know.
Look, we're horrible with social media as it is, and I mean we got a long list of things. Got to revamp the channels a little bit, do some house cleaning on the channels themselves, and maybe actually start doing them community post things, like you're supposed to let people know what the hell's going on.
Got to do polls.
Listen, we have a list. We have a list, people. Me and Scarlett are getting professional. We're doing things. We're
It's happening.
making moves. We're checking
believe
off
in you.
boxes.
I know.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're trying to try. We're trying real hard to try.
Hey, that's the thing with YouTube is nobody knows what they're doing. It's just consistency. Just keep
Yeah.
at it. That's how you do it.
Yeah. So do you guys think when James screamed there,
I
they
thought it was funny.
and even the doctor was running after Mark and doing the thing where you'll kill them all or whatever, they'll all die. Do you think, because they had already found out that the barrier was holding or whatever, so the technology should be working, so they kind of got what they wanted.
Like where would they go, right? If she's free, they're still there, right? All the different partitions.
Or at least the technology they were building, those 4 people that kind of look like the MDR people, but down there with Drummond and the doctor, were putting it all together, and they asked them, is the barrier holding? Yep, it's holding. So it held for all the rooms all the way to 25, and they just cut everything off and made it where even with the Cold Harbor baby thing, but was he screaming because Mark got her, or was he screaming because she went with him?
Yeah, that is a good.
I assume maybe they were getting pissed because she went with him, and it kind of fucked up the program, right? It proved that maybe.
But did her going with him fuck up the program, or did her choosing to go with him versus not go with him mess up?
Yeah, her choosing to, because he was saying don't touch. The doctor was like, don't let him touch you.
But maybe some of that memory of their life together gets through the barrier, and that's why she trusted him over the voice, right?
Yeah. So is that what happened there, you think? And that's why he's screaming? Is that why he's screaming? That all this didn't work? Or did it work and they're just screaming because they didn't want to lose Gemma?
Well,
we don't know for sure.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, I'm on the
their
fence
end
with
goal
that
is.
fully. Yeah, because the way he talked about her when they were going in the elevator, like she's gonna destroy everything and shit. I don't know. I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know what was going she was gonna kill them all meant. And
because if they were going to sacrifice 25 lives,
if they were going to sacrifice her, obviously all of them dying isn't a problem. But so maybe Miss Cobell was lying and they weren't going to kill her. Or maybe they need her for something.
Could it be possible that they're working on some bigger project because we don't know about the outside world as much, and there really is some type of apocalyptic scenario? And when he said you'll kill them all or they'll all die, mean Gemma, he meant maybe the people.
But her not being able, or them not getting whatever they needed from her to complete it was, her leaving before they did that or something.
You know, Drummond was saying this is the most important thing to humanity or whatever.
Mhm.
And so maybe it's a bigger picture, but I took it as her 25 any lives that were created room by room. Every time Mark finished a file, they're the ones that are going to die.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of took it, though.
That's the way I took it too, but there might be other layers to it, like you're saying. But it would be 26, right? Because she got the 25 down here, and then Miss Casey, and then her own regular personality. So that's 27 different, like, different personalities, different partitions of her brain. Like, how many could there possibly be before you just
There's too much.
melt? Yeah, like your brain overheats and explodes, or it can't be good for you. That's for sure.
No.
Like early onset dementia at the best. Like that's the best case scenario, is something like that where you start remembering past lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And the conversation that Mark had with himself at the cabin, some great just editing and acting and all of that was really great in that part.
Good.
But that conversation, I think we've had maybe the last 2 or 3 videos of asking that question. Well, what does reintegration really do? Does it meld the two together? Does it kill one? Or, and I thought the conversation was good because he had those questions. He's like, well, it sounds like to me, it's going to be a lot more you than me if I do this.
Well, that's the thing is, like, so much of who we are is everything we experience up to that point. So if you take who you are, add in a whole lifetime of other experiences, that's not the same person anymore. So, like, in a way, you would die in that scenario, in the same way I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago because of everything that's happened in the interim, So that would be definitely, like, it wouldn't be either one, really.
Yeah,
like, if you combine them together, it wouldn't be Mark S. It wouldn't be, Mark Scout. It would be somebody new.
And the question is if it's even possible.
Hey, EJ.
I think at the
What's
end,
up, EJ?
The very ending scene was them, Mark saying, look, I know the Audi dude loves you, but I love this chick. And even if I've got just a minute or 10 minutes, I'm going to choose that right now. I don't know what's going to happen. And we've seen them turn them off and on from a security room, even if they're outside, the any Audi people, severed people. Jeannie's severed, Jim is severed. So, they could track her and turn her off or put her in a different mode, it seems like.
Yeah, it seemed like they had a weird particular severed rooms for her. Like she was, I don't know if Mark walked into each one of those rooms. Did it seem like it affected him when he went to Cold Harbor, right?
No.
Yeah.
So they were particularly the way that, like,
he was
Miss Cobell was talking to him about the cabin lodge. Like, no, you had to be in. This one is, how did she say it? Not registered, but like synchronized with your chip or something. Like they're able to go that far with it. Not to mention, it's not even like the contingency things they put in for the severed on the severed floor. It's the same, but slightly different, right? It's almost even more increased than what the contingencies were, the overtime contingencies, all those other ones they had on there.
Yeah, I was wondering about elephant mode because we looked at those before and it was, elephants remember everything, right? So we're like, okay, so that's like every personality melding together, but that's reintegration, which they say doesn't exist. So what is elephant mode? I am curious. And how far does that reach? Like if they go across the planet and they press the overtime contingency, is it going to work, or does it only work within a certain vicinity?
Right.
These are all definitely questions that they're not going to answer because it would it would write them into a corner,
Yeah. So do you guys think that season 3 will focus a lot on Gemma? Like she's going to stay in the story more?
Well, like, let's see, we had a good question up here. It kind of goes along with that. Even saying, do you think that she will get out of the building? So, like, we're starting the season, we leave it with Gemma just outside that door, but she still hasn't left the property. So is this going to be a thing where is someone able to get, like, how is she just going to leave the property? Was Miss Cobell and them waiting on the outside for
Yeah, I think
Mark?
that's why she said take her to that particular place and put her out the door. Hopefully they're going to be there to try to grab her.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, she's going to go up the stairs and there's a whole building full of people up there that probably know what's going on. So
Well, that may
I
be
don't
a
know. It's not going to be as easy to just snap her fingers and get out of there.
yeah. And is that a outside door? Does it lead outside or into?
Do we
the
know where it
building?
goes? I don't know.
It led to like I don't want to say an outside staircase. Hang on.
Yeah,
I forget if we've been in the stairwell before,
Yeah.
but I forget
I
if
thought
we
it was
went up
a
the stairs at some point.
outside stairwell.
Yeah, it's like an outside stairwell. It's not like outside. I thought it was still inside the building, but just like
a fire
Yeah.
escape.
like
Yeah.
like it's still in the building, but it's just outside of the main. Like, when you're in the hospital and you don't take the elevator, you take the stairs. They're kind of on the outside. Then you can walk in the door, and then it's like the rooms or whatever. But going up the steps is kind of just that
Like a parking
spiral
garage or
whatever.
something. too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because typically they don't. This is only for them to. It seemed to show their severed. Like, okay, if they were coming in through the elevator, they're coming in and out normal. That was like their way of so they could see what it was like. But they always knew that their Audi would walk back through this door, right? It always made it seem like, even with Mark and them, like you always come back through. So it wasn't really like you're outside. You're just outside of the severed hall. That was the way I took it, but really not sure.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I do think that, symbolically ending the season with her on the other side of the door, I don't think it's going to be season 3 starts and she can't leave. I think she is going to get out. As far as Helly and Mark, I have no idea what's going to happen to them. But I do know
they're taking over MDR and the severed floor, and it all is what I was thinking. But we'll see.
Well,
they got to bring in Lumen.
They want Helly there.
forces.
Like, they want her to do more stuff, and
so he might just let her start running it in a sense.
Yeah, and she's not going to do it if they do something with Mark. So she's got leverage.
Yeah. And it's even possible, like, I know we all kind of talked about before how they didn't care about the severed, almost like they were animals or whatever. But I wonder if maybe they cared about the severed more than we thought. Like, maybe they do. Maybe, or, James he's maybe cares more about them. That's why they got certain perks and stuff that they were getting. Yeah, it was all Milchek, but they approved it, right? He didn't just do it. It seemed as something that was approved by the board or someone high above. So maybe, like, he does see, like, these versions of people is something that they prefer, of course. So maybe they will value them more in the long run.
Yeah, I don't know that care is the right word. I think
they
find them useful, right? And in this case, it's like he never liked his daughter. He always had problems with her, right? And now he sees a new version of her that might be more useful. But I still think he views them as lesser beings. I think there is a through line there. Like, I see the fire of Kira in you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, he believes that she is equal to him, It's hard to say.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they'll wipe Mark. I don't know about Helly. Probably Helly too. I wonder if they'll wipe him.
Yeah, I mean, well, if they wiped Helly, would she retain the aspects that they like about her? I don't know. Like, that would be a gamble at that point, because there's a lot of, like, nature versus nurture questions in the show. You, like, what determines your personality? Is it your genetics, or is it your time and place where you grew up or whatever? I tend to believe it's a mixture of both. But in this show, it's definitely, I think, leaning more towards like the nurture side of things is what I get from it. I don't know about you guys, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it seems to me.
Yeah. Let's see what some of you guys in the chat are saying.
Definitely
go ahead.
nurture because no, it's definitely nurture because look at what they do with the innies, how they're basically raising them,
Yep.
so to speak. And so I definitely think that because they're basically raising little minions in a sense.
Yeah, and they only get to see as much of the world as they think will get them to do their jobs. That those perks
Hmm.
they give out are just because, oh, well, it seems like they want to wander, so we'll offer that as a reward that they get. And they have a punishment in the first season, I forget what it was called, but where they had to read the same thing over and over again, the torture
Yeah.
chamber room.
And that's not too much different than what it seems like they were doing to their pre-severed individuals. Again, care is not the right word, but yeah, it's like these are going to be their better versions of what Miss Cobell's sort of generation through the company would have been.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I know he said that about Helly. He kind of emphasized that, but I don't know if it goes farther into the other ones. I think they still maybe think of them as animals or slaves. And I do wonder also, I mean, just my thoughts or theories on the goat and the severed people. I think they see them the same, like they sacrifice the goat. I think, well, I'm through with you, Mark. I don't need you anymore. You finished Cold Harbor. So they would sacrifice Mark as well. Like,
well, was it going to be Mark or Gemma?
Both, maybe
both for sure. They
he was going to choke him out. He was not.
Well, that was because he was probably
they,
doing stuff he wouldn't. But that's because he caught him, though, right?
Yeah, but they couldn't release Gemma back into the real world. We've already discussed that.
Yeah, Gemma was one we thought, y'all were saying really heavily on.
I think you got to look at Mark and the other innies, just like the goats. To Jaime Egan, the goats are goats. They sacrifice them. The innies are goats, animals, and they sacrifice them as well eventually.
Yeah. That's
what really motivated Mark to do what he did. Like, he basically said to out himself, like, you're just gonna, when this is all said and done, you're just gonna kill me anyway or get rid of me. And when he came to the door and had to make the decision whether to walk through the door with Gemma or leave with Helly, he chose to leave with her because he had no bond, no relationship to Gemma, but he built a bond and relationship with Helly. So that was the decision any Mark made. He wasn't going to choose Gemma because he basically thought that once all this was done, Mark was gonna cut him off anyway.
I agree with what any Mark was saying in that conversation. Like, I wasn't necessarily buying it either. That Audi Mark, he's like, I'm gonna do reintegration, knowing what we know, that there's a risk to it that a guy died trying to attempt that. I was thinking like, I don't think he really means it. He's telling him what he thinks he needs to hear. And then when he's like, minimizing what the relationship with Helly is by saying, oh, imagine that relationship, but 1,000 times crazier. The depth of that just shows that he doesn't understand, that this is a separate person. And yeah, like, the thing is, with you have a relationship over a long period of time, it feels like it has more gravity. But keep in mind that this guy's only been alive for 2 years, so the proportion of his life dedicated to Helly is, probably bigger in a way.
Right.
And first loves have that thing where it feels like the most important thing ever, right? Like the first time you experience that.
Oh yeah, and he's definitely head over heels for her.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't even care. He was like, I mean, he got over a few little things, but yeah, he didn't care. Like, no, it's fine. We'll make it work. Don't worry, hun. We'll stay on the severed floor forever. Yeah.
Yeah, he basically, the Helena Audi version basically, tricked him under false pretense into hooking up, but he was able to get past that.
They fixed that.
The love was real.
Well, they fixed it. Remember, they had their own little tip.
Season 3.
Yep.
20 years later. There's like 3 kids and They're
Well,
still on the seventh
we
floor.
never
Yeah.
really saw the baby, right? Like, what was the baby Kier walking in the snow about? Was that in the end of the like the intro or whatever? We see that we've gone through and pretty much named everything through the intro, but we didn't see no baby Kier in the snow, or did we miss that?
I think it was implied, and we'll see it next season.
Okay,
But if we
Maybe.
don't, it's a big what's up?
because
Yeah.
everything else just about in that intro has pretty much, you can kind of find a meaning to one of the episodes or something from the season.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. A lot of foreshadowing in that.
Yeah, and when he jumps off the ledge into the head, and then the head turns into a goat, to me that helps
That's that connection.
emphasize they're both goats. You know, they're
Yeah.
both looked at as goats, and they're going to be sacrificed. And Egan doesn't care about them, maybe, but I don't know.
Maybe.
He definitely has something, like you say. He may not like if he'll tell the security room, don't flip Helena back on, leave Heliar on.
Yeah. But there's like the one of the first lines of dialogue she has in the show is, "Am I livestock?" So
Right.
that's definitely been
Yeah, it all
a theme since
kind
the
of
very
ties
beginning.
together. But it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if Dana was saying, someone was saying about it may just be that he said that because he saw her youth in Heliar, Helena's youth in Heliar, and it didn't necessarily mean he was gonna flip the switch or anything.
Yeah, and I mean, if you take Heliar and extend it out like to the length of time that Helena's been around, would she just turn into the same person? You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. So it's like he raised his daughter, and his daughter is not what he wants. So is he going to do the same thing with the innie? And it's just, is he the problem? He
Yeah.
sees this in the innie and thinking like, oh, I wish my daughter had that fire and whatever. But you're probably the one that killed that fire, because look at how she was raised.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and you could tell a lot by the meal they had together, when he had nothing but complaints, complaining, oh, wish you took it, the eggs raw, like
Yeah.
nothing she
You're
could
not
do
eating
seemed to be
right.
worthy in his eyes. So like, you raised one and you don't like it, maybe you're the problem.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you're seeing this in the innie version of her, because you haven't been able to corrupt that yet. You haven't been able to destroy that yet. You haven't been able to manipulate it and mold it and create it. And are you just gonna hate? Are you just gonna hate that as well?
Yeah, probably. Because like we both said, it's going nurture more than nature. So yeah, if he's an influence, then it probably will just
Exactly.
repeat
Like,
itself.
what you probably damaged your own daughter, and now you're looking at her innie version, and things are not going to be different.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what you guys in the chat are saying. And I like this Vic. She says, we saw balloons in season 1 intro that happened in season 2 intro. Maybe babies in season 2 intro happens in season 3 intro.
Could be.
And we also haven't seen car and water. That's in season 2 intro. That is true.
I'm pretty sure the car and water is just how Gemma supposedly died. I'm
Is
pretty
it?
sure that-
Okay.
Yeah, she crashed, and I think they mentioned
They
in
mentioned it,
water as
and that was
well.
supposed to be like a visual for us, possibly.
Yeah, I think so. Unless there's a hidden meaning to it that we discover in season 3, which it
We'll
could
just
be.
have to,
You never know.
keep remembering. You never know. Maybe we'll see another car crash, and they just left that in there.
Yeah.
It'll be like a callback.
And it obviously didn't happen, right?
It could be more metaphorical, like a lot of the stuff in the intro. Not I show you car crash, you must see car crash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe
like the
it's,
babies could just be like, oh, here's all the different personalities inside Gemma, like
yeah.
Maybe. It's curious. Let's see. Didn't Milchick walk out the door to walk to his bike? Yeah, he did. I'll have to go back and look and see where that staircase actually leads to, because we get a little bit of a look at it when in season 1 a little bit better, I think.
No, I think she's right. And I guess that means like that's the exit for everyone who's not severed, right?
Right. See, Jen, the teacher says, do you think Milchick will hunt down Mark and Helly and Lumen in season 3? Well, yeah, Milchick, he's
might
not
be
happy.
Helly in season 3.
He's not happy right now, that's for sure.
No, not at all. I think he's going to get reprimanded even worse.
Right.
Although the guy that had beef with him is dead now, so I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Jen, the teacher, also says, I hope they don't do a time jump in season 3 and Helena has a baby. Like they just skip over it and they're like, oh, yes, this is a quick remembering of what happened and we have a baby.
I have a feeling we'll do a time jump again. Maybe not a big one, but I think like they kind of did one between, season 1 and 2. So I think there'll be a little one.
We'll kind of like how they did it, where they kind of have the time jump, but then they still kind of went back and showed us a little bit of what was kind of taking place.
Yeah. I think they'll do that because it's a mystery show, right? So they're going to take us a little ahead, show us the new normal, and we're going to be like, how did all this happen? And then they'll take us back. It works. Yeah. It works.
Jen says Gemma hit a tree, I thought. Oh, I can't remember. I'll have to go back and listen to what the cops, what they said or what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
It does seem like she hit a tree, but I'm wondering like if it's a metaphorical thing. It could be if we're taking the intro as a timeline, which it may not be, but if you kind of follow it as a timeline, does the car line up with Cobell's episode as far as she had to leave her car behind and take the truck and all the stuff that happened with her? But like you say, it may not be Cobell's car. A lot of people say it's not, so it is Gemma's car. So that maybe the Gemma episode, maybe it lines up with that somehow.
Maybe
it's more metaphorical. Yeah, and it's more metaphorical. I don't know. All good questions though, and still mysteries for sure.
Right. And Vic says people fight me on that and swear it's Miss Cobell's car. Yeah. And I don't know, honestly, because it could be. Oh, God. That's some of the things we have to remember. And when we go back and do the rewatch, pay attention to some of those details, especially the conversations.
And I actually don't think she actually had a wreck. My theory on that is that she left the house. They already knew at that point they were going to kidnap her. And whether they might have had to somehow crash the car to make it look like that, I don't think she was in it necessarily. Like they had already took her, kidnapped.
Well, we were talking about, I think before the stream started, how there were references to their life together and parallels in Gemma's experiments with all the different versions of her. So it's like they were listening to them already, or had access to her memories. Something like that. So
yeah, because it was too weird how they did the role reversal with that, right? Because I thought he was kind of dealing with the crib. I don't remember. They didn't show her actually taking the crib apart in those memories.
Yeah. Mark was taking it apart and he was kind of smashing it around.
Right.
Yeah.
And they got her to kind of very peacefully take it apart, right? Without any emotion. And she couldn't, there was no, he said, she has nothing. She doesn't remember anything. So, and it was weird how they did that role reversal, even down to the conversation. When we get to see you talking about that Gemma episode, the Christmas room where she's writing all the postcards, and we see with her and Mark, she's the one telling Mark, I love you. And he kind of doesn't answer or reply, and she gives him a, I love you. And, it's more of a softer kind of thing between the two of them. But when it happens to her in that, the room for the Christmas scenario, the doctor says the same lines to her that she says to Mark, and he's more forceful with it. No, it's almost like she has to follow that script.
It was sinister.
It was so creepy.
Yeah.
And to see that, it's like they constantly did this role reversal, which we didn't see everything in their life, right? We got a very quick glimpse of how their life kind of progressed together. But it did show some of the, like, just the things that I don't know, that Christmas one in particular is one that really caught my attention. And then when they showed this one, I'm like, okay, yeah, these are particular traumas, perhaps, that she's gone through, particular things to trigger her
right,
memory.
to see if the barrier holds.
Right.
Because if they do that and she doesn't twitch, like, oh, it, the barrier held, so that's the technology that they're working on, it seems like.
And how would they know so much about her triggers and her memory, like Brian's saying, and her
Because
life?
she
And
filled
even
out all
down,
those tests.
even down to the conversation, the way she spoke, that, again, that Christmas one where she's doing the postcards, that conversation as she's walking out with the doctor was almost verbatim, but role reversed with the one they showed with her and Mark.
Yeah,
when she's wearing that same coat that she wears in this episode.
Yeah, that alludes. Yeah. That was her like, that's when she had the wreck. Right before she went off and supposedly had the wreck or got kidnapped. So they totally could have, had the house bugged or whatever. And like I say, the camera may pull back further, and we see that it's much different than we kind of originally
Truman
thought.
Show.
Yeah, it's more of a Truman Show type thing of some kind.
Well, do you guys remember what Gemma was doing when she had her wreck? Do you guys remember?
She was going somewhere.
She was going to a party to play charades. Which I think ties in with all the experiments that she was doing. I love these tiny details.
And maybe I wonder if the party was set up by Lumen or something that
maybe, yeah, just some peers,
they got the cops in their pocket.
They got the cops in their pocket. They probably have the university in their pocket too, funnel people into that.
But we get the churches, everything, right? Because they kind of alluded to that. Like,
yeah, the Lutheran church, like, yeah, preaching about the different, like, severed people as their own souls. Yeah, that's a good point. But like the tiny details I really love. Like when Gemma and Mark first met, she was reading The Death of Ivan Ilyich, which is a book essentially about a guy who was a lifelong atheist converting to Christianity on his deathbed. So there's definitely symbolism there, because the doctor guy, before she hits him over the head, he opens the book. He's like, Death of Ivan Ilyich. Well, let me guess, he dies at the end. And there's, beginning and end imagery with that, because, they met, Mark and Gemma met with that. And then, that kind of bookend with Gemma's part.
Have you guys heard the theory that Gemma has been Lumen the whole time and was set up?
It's possible.
Before her episode.
Yeah, it's possible, particularly after we're like, well, how in the hell did she just go with them, right? Because it's either they straight up kidnapped her, but then how did they convince her after they quote unquote kidnapped her, or was she all along kind of, well, the point, like y'all said, when on the Gemma episode where we see her go into the doctor's office and she fills out that form, and we know that's Lumen, and we know the doctor is the same doctor, so the fertility doctor is there. Somewhere between that point and her doing all those the mail-in things, I'm assuming at some point, if she was to go to Lumen, it was somewhere in that, because that's where they started to show the breakdown between Mark and her relationship.
Yeah.
And if it is a cult-like thing, it is very possible that they were telling her at some point, sort of brainwashing her in and saying, no, look, Mark will understand at some point, we'll bring him in, and then it didn't quite go the way she thought it would. Because, of course, they tell you what you would want to hear to be a part of it, just like they tell them, oh, your work is mysterious and stuff. So, yeah.
Maybe they promised her a baby.
Maybe. Yeah. And that would explain, like, why she's disassembling the crib, right? Because that would be like, the thing we dangled in front of you is now void.
Yeah, what if half of season 3 is her prequel story from, like, the stuff we're talking about? We see more of how she took the test and how they're talking to her and the little meetings she goes to, and all the way up through the kidnapping. Even Devin said they effing kidnapped her,
Yeah. No, I think that is a very real possibility, for sure. I do know we're not going to abandon the hallways of Lumen, though, because that's what makes the show unique.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to end up back here somehow.
Oh yeah.
Well, and it didn't seem like they were done, right? They're running
Yeah.
off with the alarms going off. He's
They're
covered
not
in
leaving.
blood.
They're not escaping.
It's almost as if they're gonna have to find a way to take control. Now, of course, I don't know how they're gonna do that or what they think is gonna happen next, but
like they're running towards the camera, whereas like Irving is riding off into the sunset in the train.
So I said they're getting ready to go into something. It seemed as if they were getting ready to go into battle. It's the way I took it with that cat. But then again, they give you that red, like all crazy, like whoosh. Oh shit.
Well, it was what was that movie? It was like a Western Butch Cassidy, maybe in the Sundance Kid, where they finally had to run out at the end.
Yeah.
And it just kind of freeze framed because you knew what happened, but they didn't really show it.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, just in the back of my head, do they wipe them? Like they don't know all this stuff that just happened.
That could be what the red means.
Maybe wipes them all the way back to laying on the table.
Maybe. I was kind of scared for Mark again because he's like, he keeps pushing his damn luck, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she's somewhat safe, for the most part. I think she's pretty safe. And she might get an ass whooping, but I don't think they just gonna straight take her out because she's family and all that kind of jazz. But Mark's playing around with fire, man. He's playing around with her, and he's done killed 2 of their security guards. Well, he didn't kill the first one, but he was there.
Milchick finds out Mark killed Drummond, he'll give him a high five.
He might actually. Well, that is a good point. Maybe that's the turning point for Milchick. He's like, you know what? I'm on board. Take over the 7th floor. Woo! Got the shit on lockdown.
Vic made a point that my red light, I'm in Lumen right now. They got me.
Oh, shit.
I knew it.
That's why I picked the red light.
I knew it all along.
I've been Lumen the whole time.
Is this any Brian or Outie Brian?
Right.
Yes.
How many Brians are there?
Oh, there's a great many.
Oh, shit.
That's for sure. You never know which one's the real one.
But, as far as liking this episode, just the editing, the music, the way they all put it together with the scenes and the energy and the outcomes of each little thing, and then another and then another, and the beat and how the beat changes, and I just loved it. I mean, you don't see that all the time. I mean, it's just, to me, as I know Brian, he's into filmmaking and stuff, when you kind of just into that aspect of, it's hard to go watch a movie without thinking of the behind the scenes the whole time when you're watching it. It's like, it's just, you don't see this very much.
No, this is special. I was getting hyped with the scene transitions, like just when it's seamless from one scene to the next one.
Yeah, they had several in this
Drummond
episode.
though. This episode, Drummond was a trooper. He gave Mark everything he needed. Right, he gave him the blood, and he held the door for him.
Yeah, it was so nice.
See, he held the door for him, allowed for their escape and everything. So yeah, Drummond, he didn't do. He's
low key the MVP.
Right, but he's gonna get in trouble, I think, by the company. He's dead, but somehow Drummond's gonna get in trouble.
They're gonna bring him back to life just so they can kill him again.
The funny thing is how it almost everything was just happenstance. Like, that happened, but if it hadn't happened, the next thing couldn't have happened. And then the next thing couldn't have happened if that
was very convenient.
That's why I was like, man, how did Miss Cobell think that Mark was actually going to get down there? Like, how was he going to just get a key? Was he going to get
she's so smart.
Might have been able to get maybe get it off Milchick.
She's so smart. She knew he was going to have to kick Drummond's ass and take that card.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that was the only thing that made me question her motives a little bit more.
She knew the goat lady was going to be there, sacrificing the goat.
She might have actually known that for sure. Like, that might have been standard operating procedure.
But did she know that Drummond was going to then kick his ass and she was going to turncoat and he was going to be able to get the key off of him and then kill?
I think that's
And the blood. Like, how was he gonna
yeah.
get her
Look,
down there?
I think she was
His
like, he'll
blood.
figure it out. It'll be
yeah,
fine.
yeah. That's the point. Every hero story goes. Obi-Wan Kenobi can only say, "Go do your best, son." When he goes to
That was
fight
a
Darth
terrible
Vader.
plan, man. Because I swear he lucked out like a. Oh man, he lucked out. I'll
Definitely.
say that. Even the blood thing, like really, there's no way for him to even know that blood was gonna work. It just so happened to work. Mark wasn't gonna know. Like, how was he gonna get blood to put in the thing? He just was, because the chick was not gonna do it. She knew that he needed that sample. That's why she ran her ass away. She wasn't scared about him killing her. She just didn't
he
want him
wasn't
in the
gonna do
room. No, she was like, nope, nope, I'm out.
It was funny when he was pointing the gun at her, and it's like, ah!
Yes, you are. No, I'm not.
Yeah. They did still find ways. Like, it's such an intense episode that just built up, but they still found a lot of like places to put in humor. So I really appreciate that.
But it does bring up a good question. What does she kill them all mean? And we kind of talk
That
about
is a
it.
good question. Yeah, I have
but
no idea.
I don't know, man. He was screaming it, and I'm not sure.
I mean, the logical thing is all of those different rooms that were created that Miss Cobell was talking about, telling
he had this
any
weird
mark
affection for
every file you did is created a new any for Gemma, and there's a bunch. So when he screamed, because this is his baby, this floor is this guy's baby, so he's like, no, don't take her up there, you'll kill all of our work.
Yeah.
So that's the logical thing, but he actually may not have meant that.
There might be more layers.
And I was hoping for more layers, because that would set up next season. Like, what the hell is Gemma?
Yeah. Yeah, there's still the question of like, okay, why are we doing that? Why do we need 25 versions? What does that achieve? What is the real goal of the Severance, little chip thing? Like, what is it actually, like, what is Kier's ultimate goal that everything's supposed to, coalesce into?
And are they doing this thing to the goat every time he completes a file? Like, what is the correlation between the day? Like, it seemed like it had to do with Gemma, maybe.
Yeah.
So was it like every time they completed a file? But then Drummond was like, as many as called for. So are they going to have more of these? So what is the significance of that particular sacrifice that day?
It's a good question. Like, is there an actual use for it? Like, maybe the goat has one of the Severance chips in it, and they need to kill the goat to get something out of the chip. Or, maybe there's another layer to it, or maybe it just really is a weird cult thing.
Yeah, it seems like a cult thing that James Egan wants to happen. And probably after every file was completed, they had that on the floor. They completed, but the other department had never completed one and stuff like that. So I'm sure the celebration, or as a company, each file was pretty important when it was completed. So they probably sacrificed a goat. And that's why, she said how many, because she's probably sacrificed a bunch.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that on the first time.
And with him saying as many as the founder wants, it means he started that department so he could sacrifice a goat any old damn time he wants to. It could be on any occasion. So you just stand ready. And she didn't like that.
Not at all. But yeah, I mean, these white walls always made me think of, like, they have white walls like that when they're leading animals to slaughter. They have like these white walls so they stay calm and it's nice and lit. And they always have curves so that they never see the end. That's something I think they thought of when they designed all these sets.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And everything's based on love too, where things break down, even with the goat lady, her love of the goats is what started breaking things down. Mark's love for Gemma, Mark's love for Helly, Irving's love for Bert, Dylan's love for his wife. Everything starts breaking down with love.
Yeah.
Even for the little goaties.
Yeah.
Aw.
Just look at the goat.
What is that? It's a sweet goat. And Jen, the teacher says, if they sacrifice a goat per file, then they did 24 goats already. Maybe because of Mark's freshman fluke, they went through too many goats. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hard to
Yeah.
say.
And he could be sacrificing goats for other things happening within the company we don't even know about, stuff on other floors. Hey, another goat.
Right? And yes, Dark Elf, so each of Gemma's doors was a file that Mark worked on. So yes,
Yep.
that was
And
he
different
working on
personality.
the whole
different
time.
severed-
Who
yeah.
was the rest of them working on then?
That's still a mystery.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming that they're working on severed individuals, right? Because it seemed, I'm trying to remember how, because she said that was each one of those files was her, and each one of those files was a severed version of her. So what other severed people do they have? And then it gets back to the goat thing. Was it for these severed files? Every time they completed one, was it just Mark's that they did this for? Mark and Gemma, or again, was this separate from that? I'm still not sure. I'm all over the place with that because I don't.
So it seems like he was only working on Gemma, and the other people must be working on something else or other people, because Mark confirmed to Miss Cobell he had done 24 files, but I've done 24 files.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how many rooms Gemma had been in. And the 25th one would be the 25th room, 25th file.
Mm-hmm.
So it does seem like it was just him working on just Gemma, but
I thought they all like had a collective. Like I thought they were all working on Gemma.
Maybe. And then the question is, what did the other departments in other buildings and other locations do?
Yeah.
They had their own Gemma and everybody was working on it, maybe.
I don't know. That's what I was curious about.
It's a good question, for sure.
That's one of the things I want to go back when we do a
Because
rewatch.
they're working on the technology. It seemed like to me the emphasis was the technology they're building in the chip to build a barrier that holds that person at the end, whoever she was in the room taking apart the baby thing. It seemed like it's like, okay, the barriers, we've covered everything, even now the baby carriage, and there's no leakage that we see. Until Love came along through the door in the form of Mark.
Yep. And then he screams.
But it just seems like, if they're doing technology, what do they need? The chip out of her head, or?
I don't know. And that was another big question is why all this? And then the way Miss Cobell talked about it, like she's just going to be gone. Like they're going to get rid of her, but they got what they needed, but they didn't complete it. So technically
why
they
25?
never did.
Like, why not 26? Why stop? Is a good question too, I think.
Yeah. And it could have gone back to the whatever the questionnaires and all these different things.
Yeah, maybe they picked out 25 things from what she listed in something they gave her or asked her one time.
Like, like I see this thing pop up now where you can do like a test and it's supposed to show like if you've ever had trauma or something and it like registers on this test. I don't know. It's one of these things like you take tests. I don't know. Maybe it's something like that where you take one of these little test things and then somehow it's okay. Well, because of these answers, we register you with like 10 trauma rooms. All right. To deal with your traumas, Oh, Gemma, you got 25 trauma rooms that you have to deal with. I don't know. Because it's weird. I don't really know how they determine.
Yeah, if it's like if it's all based around trauma, it's kind of like the opposite of like there's a type of therapy where if you have trauma, like they expose you to it in like a kind of safe, controlled way, and you like ease into it. Whereas this is like we'll sever off a part of your brain and just push you into the middle of it. In the middle of the dental office, in the middle of the situation you don't want to be in.
Over and over and over and over for that person. Because that's the only time they're ever awake. Yeah.
It's a terrifying thought.
See, Jen, the teacher says Dylan was working on Tumwater, which was one of Gemma's files, and so was Sienna, which Helena did, but not Motok, which Irv saw in Woe. Maybe they were all working on Gemma in some capacity. Maybe they each had a file they were working on or something. I don't know. That's weird.
But yeah, Mark did say specifically like he did 25.
They made it almost seem like he was working on all of her files particularly, and like his was special more than the others. But if they were all working on files dealing with her, that opens up even more questions. Like you said, is there more than one Gemma?
Yeah. And Dylan was like the best one, right? Like he was getting all the perks because he was so good at it.
But the more than one Gemma to me would be in a different location, not in the same building.
Yeah.
And
that's what Jen, the teacher, is saying. Even I think that each Lumen place in the world has its own Gemma that is
right,
being retired.
trying to perfect the technology. And if they're trying to do the technology side, I could see, different companies experimenting and saying, okay, whoever hits it first, kind of thing. Let's try this.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, the way everybody
questions, I don't know, man. That's a good. Ooh, I hope they answer that and confirm some of that.
That may be part of. That's what I'm kind of seeing. I don't know, but just seeing them showing some of that first and next season, like giving us a few episodes of Gemma, and like a lot of it just be. We might see Mark in the background, a little bit. Howdy, Mark, because she's dealing a lot with her trauma of the baby thing and investing a lot of her time in the Lumen stuff that they're doing to her that Mark is kind of ignoring, but he's kind of in the background, but she's doing her thing. And we see some of that, and it answered a lot of these questions. It actually answered most of the questions we just talked about.
Even this would, Vic said, I still want to know if the Orpo was outside. Did they ever confirm that? And I don't know if they ever truly 100% confirmed it. Like they kind of said that it was an outdoor retreat is what they told Audi Mark, but we know that they tell Audi Mark stuff all the time. That's not really 100% true of what his innie had to deal with, right?
Yeah, I think they kind of confirmed it through interviews, if that's a thing.
Okay, did they? Because I was gonna say I didn't watch the interviews.
They did so many. They did a ton, and but there was one that I think the creator and Ben Stiller was in, and they kind of said, "Yeah, it's outside." And because they had talked about, like you were saying, putting a plug in the rock for the TV, and they just why they decided not to do that, just. And it was a lot of just different creative choices, and the way they were talking about it was, yeah, it's outside,
Okay, but that TV popped up out of the fucking nowhere.
I know. I'm not.
I want to talk to them creators and the people who did the set and shit. They fucked up because if they would have been in the scene like prior, then I would have been like, all right, the technology, they could have worked around some bullshit and said they had technology for it to actually still be powered up, even though I still probably wouldn't have fully believed it. But okay, at least it was sitting there the whole time. That son of a bitch popped up.
Like I just think they weren't thinking through like people like Scarlett. Like, look, Scarlett, there's people out there like Scarlett's gonna rip our ass if we don't like put a plug in.
Well, it ain't even just a plug. It teleported out of fucking thin air.
I know, and we look at the show frame by frame and so dissect it. And I think they're learning. I look at
the clown picture.
And that's the thing.
We thoroughly dissected the clown photo and all of their salt and pepper shakers.
And I think that they even gave the fans a few things in this episode. I think they're learning and they listen and they're like, okay, we should have edited that just a little bit different so it didn't pop out of nowhere.
I think they like it. They like to toy with us a little bit. It's fun.
But yeah, it is. I do think they're interacting with us, especially since this episode. You see it a little bit in other episodes, but this episode really was like, man, this is back to you guys. Like a kiss and throw it to the audience for thanks.
Maybe there was a trap door, but then that goes into a whole nother line of questions. But it's kind of trapdoors. It's outside, and it was like there was, I don't know, man. There was snow there. If it was a trap, like I don't believe it.
I mean, it still might have been inside. You never know. Like creators, they are
I
known to
swear,
lie
I
in
thought they were
interviews.
doing like
I
some kind of
mean,
weird
you
VR kind of
know,
thing. Like
you
they
know,
were probably sitting somewhere the whole time and didn't know it, or standing up, walking around. They were just in
does
like a
it
VR headset kind of
does it
deal.
really matter? Maybe.
Yeah.
No, but it matters because I just curious. Look, you
Uh,
can't give us a
I
show
know.
like this where we have to like look at little things and try to figure shit out, and then you make my brain's already
Hey,
going a million
another
miles.
thing the creator said in an interview was like, yeah, there's some things that we kind of do that may not ever get answered because it's good to have a little bit of mystery. But if we throw it in your face, like kind of thing, and we don't answer it, that's on us because we should have, or we we had planned to. And
Like
so
I
if
said, they
something's in
kind of
your face, we
confirmed
are
it.
going to answer it.
It was just weird how Milchek popped up out of nowhere. There was a lot of weird stuff about that outdoor retreat, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it totally. I mean, everything about it. It was weird.
Just I don't know. I focus on the weirdest of things, like their doppelganger selves. How did they pop that shit up in there?
Hey, I know, right?
They're
It's-
20s.
know.
There's so
Remember,
many.
I have the fucking screenshot. He's got no feet. And I know you explained it, but I'm just saying
I know it's
they need to work on their edits.
yeah.
Okay, because
I think they
we're
do it on
frame by
purpose just to
framing this
mess with you.
shit. You can't
I
just
think
have
so.
shit like that. They got to work on, their sets and they got to remember where they play shit because we watched that.
You gotta say though, overall, I mean, it was a pretty dang good season, I thought.
Oh no, this was
And
really
every
good.
For sure.
episode almost was like a finale there for a while.
Yes.
Like what? Like what? They're gonna what?
Yeah, I mean
So,
this season went to so many places that like to me are like end game of the show, and it just
Mhm.
kept going. Like, they did the reintegration thing, kind of went back on it a little bit, but that happened earlier than I thought,
Mhm.
So I'm
Even
very
this was
appreciative of that.
wild, right? Because like when she finally walks through the door, they realize we're kissing, we're tears, everything, and then when they get through the elevator and that switch for both of them.
Yeah.
yeah. Miss Casey, Marquez, what's happening here?
Right? Like that's got to be so awkward.
Hey, the barrier is holding.
Yeah. Well, now it makes seeing what the rest of Gemma's like life was like in Lumen. It makes her statement at the end of last season about how like I've only been alive for this many minutes, and they are in these like sessions.
Mm-hmm.
It made it seem like that's the peaceful time. Like that was her good time when she wasn't being tortured.
Because remember when she had to go back down there, she was in tears. Like she was just begging them to not. Like I don't want to have to go. And even her other versions of herself were kind of like that to a degree, right?
Yeah.
Like because for her, all of her severed selves probably get some of the least amount of time out, or at least she's one of the. I don't know how many individuals that are severed, but seems like most of them have a normal kind of like 9 to 5 work week where they're out at least that much, right? But I don't know if that's so kind of the same for her, right? Like she essentially gets a few hours at best, or 30, however long a session is.
Yeah,
So,
like
that's
she
really
gets to sleep, like
like that's sad.
Yeah.
Yep. The rest of the time she was these other selves, and it was that way for all of them. The Christmas room, every time she walked in the door, she had just left. The airplane, as soon as she leaves, she walks right back in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's some
the
trauma
airplane
right
is just like so unnecessary.
Well, it was good. Like you were saying, just how the whole season, but even this episode as we go through and we really kind of seeing how these, like how they're innies, they're outies, and we see the switch between them, and they're kind of even battling between each other, like the Mark battle at the beginning with himself, and then Gemma's trying to like seeing how she's transitioning when we see her go through the room, and then now she's out of the elevator, and then as she goes from the elevator downstairs to the elevator, then up, all these different little transitions while Mark's going through these transitions as well is really weird and kind of crazy to watch. And then all the other stuff they gave us in the episode, right? Because his sister's begging him, she's in tears. Like, it's not like we're trying to get rid of the innie, but you got to understand, Mark has a life and Gemma matters, and how they're trying to work all that out. But they gave us so much of that emotion between the characters. They gave us so much of really everything that I kind of look for in an episode, and then some, because we got hella battle scenes, I think, for what kind of show this is. We just about got a sacrifice. We got, to me, what was like a really fun callback to season 1 with Milchek doing the dance, and then even Mark biting Drummond's arm. I don't know why, but I was just like, hi, you got bit. I was like, ha. It just reminded me of, when God damn it, Milchek got bit, right? Like, he got bit. And he's like, ha. It wasn't quite the same little scene, but to me, I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's another callback. I forgot about that.
So I was like, hi, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so it was just a really good all around episode. I think we got a lot for the season to finish it out and set up for a good third season. Now, where they're going to take that third season, again, they're leaving us kind of, I don't want to say open, but they've left it open to like how, like you're saying, even James, the world could be expanded upon at this point, right? Because now there's so much calamity upon the severed floor, they're going to have to find some way to either maintain that control. And then they have Gemma, who's now on the outside. So it's like their whole plan has been totally ripped to shreds. And yet you still have Mark and Helena in there. They're looking like they're getting ready to go off and do something. Gemma's outside. We still have Miss Cobell, the doctor lady. Her name is leaving my mind right now, but she's still wandering around on the outside. Sister's wandering around. We don't know anything else about the book that Mark's sister's husband, I'm forgetting character names at this point, but
Rick or something?
Yeah. Are they, was he gonna now get on board? Are they gonna bring him into the fold a little bit more, because he was kind of getting a rift. They were kind of putting a rift between that relationship. So there's a lot of still characters that are on the outside that are kind of battling. And even though Irv is seemingly gone off into the sunset, I'm still curious if they might bring him back in season 3 in some fashion, if not even for Miss Cobell or the doctor or someone that's kind of outside of Lumen, to contact him to get some sort of information that maybe he's got before he left, because he had a lot of information on the company, and he was looking into it, right? Like, it wasn't just it didn't seem like it was just on his behalf. It seemed like it was on the behalf of some other party. So who was that party? They never really showed us past what he had in his little trunk. So there's still so many outside threads and things where this could be expanded on. They could actually take it outside of these little towns that we've been in.
Well, he obviously knew about the hallway. So where did he get that information? He knew somebody on the inside previously, and it seems like a personal vendetta. The fact that he kept all this information in the same like area that he kept like all of his dad's stuff. So there's like this familial connection with it as well. So there's a lot of stuff we don't know about Irv. I have a feeling his character is one that like they'll try to get us to forget about him. We'll go like half of the season next season without seeing him, and then he'll show up, and then he'll come back into the picture, and it'll be a massive catalyst for the story.
Yeah, I just don't see him fully going away.
But they could also easily, if they do the Jenna thing, showing how she got sucked in by Lumen, play alongside of that Irving's story of filling up the chest with information, because that would be back in that time before Mark was on the severed floor. So it could give us several different storylines actually that helps fill in a lot of the blanks next season if they go that route. You know, they may not go back in time, you know, and just go forward. And that's a big question to me, is how they go forward from this point. You know, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I have to wonder like how many seasons they have, because Ben Stiller was saying, "Oh, it's not going to take 3 years for next season," and my first thought was, "Take your time, dude. Like, don't rush this." You know, I want it to be good. Like, they spent 3 years on this season. It turned out really great.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the production companies at the beginning of the episode that pops up is 5-year production or something
5
like that.
seasons or something.
Yeah, or 5 seasons. Yeah. So I'm thinking that may be what they even created that little production company for.
I always think of Community when I see that. You ever watch Community?
Some of it, yeah.
They had a meme where it was like 5 seasons in a movie. So,
yep. If it could only be everything that easy.
Yep.
Blue Piece was not a fan of the finale. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, hun. Let us know what you think about it. Like, what was it about the episode that, was it the ending itself? Because I've heard some people say, like, I know Fletcher was saying earlier today he wasn't really into how it ended. Or was it didn't give you? Because I'm honestly curious. I know me and Dana talked about it, and it wasn't, to her, it didn't feel like a finale episode compared to some of the other episodes. So it didn't hit as like I want to say on the nail for her as it did some of the other episodes. So I'm curious, was it just
that's a hard disagree from me. I'll just
say
that.
I loved the finale, but I'm curious as to what the criticisms are, because I thought they gave us enough in the ending, but this one, they gave us so many season finale episodes that I could see where, Dana's having some mic issues. So she's all good. She's still with us, guys. She's just, the technology sometimes is a bitch.
Oof. Did you turn it off and back on again?
Yeah. I could see her, or some people having a trouble with the very ending, like the decision that any Mark made at the door. Yeah. Right. Because I was conflicted at first. I've only watched it one time, but when I first watched it, in that moment, I'm like, what's he going to do? Because it held for a long minute, you know.
It was a little stretched.
It was like the back and forth. Yeah. Oh my God. She was screaming for him. Like,
and it made you think, surely you got to understand, you got to choose Gemma. And then he didn't. So I'm like, but then
I knew he wasn't good.
I'm understanding.
You could see it coming up. Like, as soon as he let her out the door and didn't go out there with her,
he's like,
it was pretty clear.
Yeah, I wonder if he would have, if she hadn't come around the corner. But
I think he was waiting. He was like,
because see, like, it's here. She goes outside, and then he's like touching on the door. He already like puts his hand back before.
But he knows that's his death. You know, really, if he steps out that door, he may never return.
That's true.
And so it's understandable why he paused, and he does love her. So, Helly.
I think I still think he might have run after if she didn't show up. Like, he might have just tried to find her.
Run down the hallway, even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Because they had talked something about see you on the horizon, or no, the equator. She said the equator or something like that.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. But it's like he could have easily said, like, hey, Helly, come with us. But then he knows as soon as she steps out there, it's Helena. And he doesn't want anything to do with Helena.
Yeah, that would not be cool.
No.
Let's see. So Blue says the way they tied up the stories were undone. Irv Milchek being in the bathroom the whole time. No Cobell at all, etc. Too much to type. Okay. And I can see where you're coming from with that. Like, the Irv one, I still feel like they're going to come back to him.
Irv it was pretty clear, like, when he's on the train, like, we're saying goodbye for this season.
Yeah,
to me,
just gotta be a little patient.
Yeah, it'll come back around.
Yeah, all this.
No, and I get it, because, like, hoping as far as like where the last couple episodes, they kind of, like, we thought we were going to get more of Irv, right? Like, I even thought they were going to give us a little bit more of what Irv was going to do with whatever the people he was talking to on the phone, and they did seemingly kind of just cut that without really giving us anything else. But I'm hoping that that's not a fully cut thread. It's just kind of pushed to the side for now, and then they're like, he's going to come back with some of these other
there's so much we don't know about.
Yeah. Tied up the stories, maybe the wrong way to really say it. because they're not. That wasn't really an intention, I don't think.
Because they want to leave some of these threads, I think, open ended so that they can still have these characters to work with in a way, but they had to have Irv somewhere, right? Because he still couldn't just be wandering around out there because he was messing with stuff, right? Because he was still on the phone calls and stuff like that. So it was a way, like, Lumen's aware of him. They're aware of what's going on because especially the way he acted during the retreat, that probably caused a lot of questions. The fact that he was aware that she was not who she was supposed to be.
Yeah, they can't have him around.
So yeah, I thought it was clever the way they kind of got him out, and then I'm so hoping if they don't bring him back, then I'm totally
No,
agreeing.
I think they totally will. Milchek been in the bathroom, that was a thing, for a long time. But at the same time, if you look at it more in a building Milchek story kind of way, instead of just looking at this episode as a singular thing itself, I think we'll see that that's going to help build him into someone that's more against Lumen than for it. So I think it's building because he's going to have retribution from the company, I'm sure, for all this going down. Something's going to happen. So we'll see.
He'll take the blame for it.
Yeah. I think a lot of this, even this episode, nothing was really wrapped up at all. It's just we learned some more, and
they confirmed
and the scenes were important. Some of the scenes were important to tell the story. Like, this is happening to this person, so in the future it will make a difference.
And I feel like they did confirm a few things that maybe, like I said, we were talking about earlier, if you weren't sort of paying close enough attention, and I have to go back and really double check that, but even with the way Cobell was kind of talking to Mark, kind of let us know, yes, you are working on her files. These files are particular to her tempers. You were working on these things. Us getting to see Cold Harbor. So we finally get to understand sort of the complexity of that, showing that because they kind of, to me, seem to connect things that were going on in this season, or even in season 1 that we've been questioning. They seem to connect a few of those things, at least in my opinion. I got that from the episode and the season as a whole, particularly, but still leaving us with enough questions for season 3. Like, so it's not, because again, I'm assuming they want to have at least 4 seasons.
Yeah, maybe 5. Yeah.
4 or 5. So some of these threads, I would hope they still leave slightly open-ended. But I understand,
answer everything.
And I understand.
They gave us a little bit of Miss Cobell, right? We got her in the beginning.
We got a ton from her. Like,
what
in
happened
terms of information.
What happened to Hampton? We may see that character again from the Cobell episode, but I mean, I think that's part of the show, or the storytelling of the show, saying that was almost we're going to leave that up to your imagination. What could
I thought they might have actually deleted him. It's possible.
I look at that as like, what was it, the Russian in The Sopranos? Where it's always the question, what happened to the Russian? It's up to you. You decide for yourself.
Yeah, it probably wasn't
part
good.
of me thought that because the way he made that statement, he was ready to go. Like, he's playing for keeps, Joe. He's going down with the ship.
He put up a good damn fight. Just
because the way we see Drummond treat Mark, and I forget the goat lady name, for what they were doing, right? Like, he was smacked shit out of her and everything else. So it's possible that he ran right through him, and I doubt the lady, in the house would have cared.
Right.
And they would have just tossed the body in the ocean. No questions asked, right? He's in with the fishies.
I mean, the car could have raced past him trying to catch up with the truck, but that don't seem like
I think they
happened.
They probably captured Hampton and tried to get information out of him, but he didn't know anything about what Cobell was doing. So
because her car was still there, but you'd think once they saw him, they switched cars.
Yeah.
But I think it's like the Russian thing, like you said, it's whatever.
It's what would the story be if we went back there, right? Like, it's almost like leaving the ambiguity is better storytelling wise than giving you the answer.
Yeah, And
Yeah.
that episode still, it told us so much. You know, we see that Lumen's trying to control people with the chip, and before the chip, they tried to control people, or did seemingly the kids with the ether kind of thing. So and that's what he was like trying to use to reach his whatever goal he's trying to reach. He started, you know, with the ether, but then it turned into the chip, I guess. So, I mean, it revealed a bunch as far as the world. Like, I mean, we might have talked about it before, how if they pulled the camera back a time or two, this could actually be its own universe. You know what I'm saying? It could be so much bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
George Foreman died? Oh, he rests in peace.
Oh, man.
Didn't know that.
I didn't know that
R.I.P.
either.
For sure. George Foreman grills. We've all had one of
I
those.
probably have one, if not my mama does.
Yeah. My mom definitely does.
Yeah, I know my mom does. I can't remember if she gave it to me or not, because she does those things. Like, here, I don't want this anymore. You take it. I have no, but I still will say, I can't say no to that, though, because I may want that one day.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, it was I thought it was pretty good. But again, I could see some of the criticisms as far as if you were looking for, like, for me, it filled threads that I was happy with, but I could see if some people were not happy with certain threads not being, like, they didn't touch on those threads, right? Like, they didn't close those loops yet, or those questions yet. Maybe because there are some things that some people care more about than other things, right? Like, I was really happy about what they gave us. I was happy. I mean, not happy about the goats, but happy that they kind of gave us, like, it's the weirdest thing with the goats, right? But now we get a little bit more meaning behind it, which also gives us that layer of the company. We got the corporate side and all of that stuff, but then we get to see the kind of full religious or pagan ritual kind of stuff that's actually going on in the company. We already saw the altars, and we see how they kind of have principles and all these different kind of things. So that I was kind of not excited to see, but just kind of glad that it gave the goats meaning, right? Now it's not just a fan thing, right? Or is it still just a fan thing? Because if it's just a fan thing, then they went way too far with it. The fans were not asking for that. And they kind of set it, like we said, they set it up for that in a way. They already gave us the dude wearing it, you know, almost like the full antler or the full goat suit with the antlers and everything. And they made sure to depict him in the painting as part of the group of people seemingly that helped Mark to get to this point of achievement or something, right? Like, it was its whole thing was weird and good. Again, I love the art that they put into the show.
Yeah, for sure. They went above and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a person I'm extremely comfortable with ambiguity, and I prefer it to knowing all the answers. So I'm probably not the perspective of the average television viewer, where I like when things aren't answered. I like to be able to think about it later. I don't want this show to, like, satisfy me and then I forget about it. I want to be thinking about it for years. You know, I like, oh yeah, what happened to that one character? And like years down the line, you know, I'm in the shower, I'm like, oh yeah, what happened to that? You know, that's what I'm looking for when it comes to art, and that's what this show is. It's art. Like, it has a life of its own, and it feels like it came together perfectly to me. You know, I don't really have any gripes aside from that one the Cobell episode I didn't particularly care for, but even that, like, I see why it is that way, you know.
And see, and I particularly liked that one because for me, I was looking for those, I don't want to say answers, but those threads to be touched on or talked about, you know, sort of the questions on my mind for some of the things going on in the show.
I just wanted a twist or to see the flashbacks, or, you know, I wanted a little more out of it, but I don't begrudge it because, you know, ultimately it led us to where we ended up, you know. So,
and I just loved it because I felt like it gave us a lot with Miss Cobell. Like, it made me understand. It was a good like understanding of the character episode of, like, where they came from. Not that, like, I'm saying, like, she's a good character now or anything, but just to sort of see why someone would be, you know, the way she is with the company. And to see how far back, like, you know, because we kind of got the clues to that in season 1 with her altar, right? And then we see now with that episode, not only do we get to see how far back that she is with the company, but why she has an altar, what the kind of like the implications of that. This is not just, okay, she's just a loony bin with an altar, like she's obsessed here. No, this is practiced amongst their, I want to say congregation, even though it's not, I don't think they call it that, but amongst their inner circle of, you know, folks that follow their followers. There we go. That's a better word. They, that is common practice, right? So, and each one seemingly has their own kind of altar, but there's certain things that are always going to be part of it. So I enjoyed a lot of the episodes because to me, they're showing for me enough about the company and the characters. And I don't like, I'm with you guys leaving a few of the threads open-ended, or even if it is quite a bit, as long as they close enough of the ones that truly, because you can leave some characters kind of like, okay, they're out there and we don't know what happened to them. As long as, to me, the main story is properly kind of played out to where you can kind of, you get the bigger picture of what's going on, I think I could be satisfied with it.
Yeah,
I don't know if every
they
show's
told
going
us
to
a
be
lot
lost.
between like Gemma and Cold Harbor.
Right.
Like they did close a lot of loops in this episode. At least that's how I took it.
Yeah, and that's why you question what's next season, because where they're going to go from here, because it did kind of in some ways finalize, well, Cold Harbor's over and now the MDR thing isn't needed. What's next? Unless now that Gemma escaped, they have to start over, or that they wipe their minds, or, you know, they throw some kind of wrench like that, or the camera pulls back and we start seeing Irving, or they do the flashback of what Gemma did. But
all I know, they have something up their sleeves, or they wouldn't have ended it like this.
Yeah. And
Right.
Cobell, you know, we learned that she created the severed thing. And so, you know, part of me may say that, think in a theory that she created it because of the loss of her mother, because I think she was probably picked up by a little bus with nobody else standing around, like Miss Wong was. Just that's just how they treat people, probably, you know. And so she, like she was talking to that other lady, you didn't even let me say goodbye because the little bus was coming or something, or come and got her and took her, and she didn't get to see her mother. So, you know, maybe she created that because the loss of her mother was too great. She wanted to cut herself off from that. But maybe along the way, she finds out, you know, it could tie back to her sending Mark to that extra session to see, you know, does love break it, you know, because maybe she figured out, or she knows that love is the weak point. Like, and she holds that key and understands it and knows it. And that's what Lumen is actually looking to do, is, you know, solve that part.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does look like some of them are standing in water. There's a few on the snowbank, but they are all kind of standing in the water.
Where Irv was going to drown Helly.
Right.
They all gonna be baptized.
Is that supposed to be her little like music thing?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's definitely what that is. Yeah. What did they had a name for it? I forget what it was called.
The attention to detail that whoever decided to do this painting and add what they added into it for Mark was it was awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah. The attention to detail in this show is unparalleled. You don't get this type of stuff on TV. I think I read something like Apple's apparently losing $1 billion on their streaming service.
Oh, damn.
They are not making money on it.
Wow. Well, this show's pretty good.
That's how you get shows like this. They're just willing to blow a ton of money on it. Hey, I'm all for it.
We got the tempers back there. Make sure to add those in there. It was a good episode for me. Again, we'll go ahead and do put it in the chat if you like, guys. Because I'm really talking to Dana. I know she's having mic problems. But yeah, we're going to go around and say what our score is for the episode. Where do you rate it, guys? Let us know in the chat what you think. And Miss Dana as well. Sorry. And then we're gonna get ready to end it here in just a little bit as well, because I got to get some sleep. Unfortunately, I do got to get up
me
in the
too.
morning. Got
I
some
gotta
laundry and
see
things I
Snow
got to
White
take care
tomorrow
of.
morning.
Oh man, I tell you,
Thoughts with me, guys.
Ugh.
It's gonna be rough.
I don't want to go to bed actually.
My audience bullied
go to
me
bed.
into it. They all voted for me to go see it, so I'm going to see it.
No, Dana, would you be sorry? It's not your fault. Technology's a bitch.
Well, she might be sorry that I have to go see Snow White, which your condolences are appreciated. Thank you.
That may be. She is still at a 7. Okay, so Dana was at a 7 at the beginning. She's
Hey,
still
at least
a
it didn't
7.
lower with our discussion, right?
That's right.
We still got there.
What about you, Brian? Where do you stand with the episode?
I don't know. I do appreciate your condolences, Dana. She says, I'm very, very sorry for that. I appreciate that. I don't know. It's high scores for me. It's like a 9 or a 10. So
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
Yeah, at least a 9. I could go higher if you want to start talking about production, because it's hard for me to not see that side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the story. I think the story side was great and deserves a 9, really, probably just for that. But you add in the production and editing and the music and just the level they went to this episode. I mean, it
all meshed.
It is pretty
Right.
big. It is pretty big. 9 or 9 plus for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you guys on that. I'm a good 9.5. Again, I give it a 10, but as we've been going over these shows, I'm starting to be more weary of giving out 10s. But yeah, definitely a good 9.5. Let's see. Vic's got it at an 8, and Miss Jen has it at a 9.
I mean, everybody, it's all like 7 and above. Like we all liked it,
Dana says Yellow Jackets 10.
Somebody didn't like it.
Sorry, wrong stream.
Yellow Jackets 10.
She's
I need to
Yellow
watch
Jackets
that one.
10.
There's too many shows. I can't get caught up in everything.
I know there's quite a bit. I know I still got to catch up or start Paradise. So at some point we will try to have a discussion of that. I still got to get to Teacup and a few others.
Are we gonna cover Dead City season 2? I know I am.
Oh, I don't even know if I watched that. See, dang it, there's too many.
Boring, she said.
Oh no, to say that.
Which one's boring? Oh, Yellow Jackets. Okay.
Oh no, Yellow Jackets says it's fine, Vic. It's okay. We can't all enjoy the same.
Well, yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Dark Elf gives this one an 8.5.
That's a good score. 8.5 is good. Like just as somebody who's made films, like even making like a 5 is like just the fact you made a film at all is an achievement, and the fact that it's any good and that it resonates with people is like it's really tough. So
it is, especially these days. Everybody's seen everything, so it's hard to impress, and so you try, that's not the thing as much, but it's just hard because everything's been done, and people, it's hard to even, I think we're almost at the point where you can't go farther to please, we're at that point, and people are just going to be like, I don't know how TV is going to end up in the end,
Yeah.
Dane's ready to talk and cover some Dead City. I hadn't watched it.
It's only 6 episodes. You can do it.
I'm supposed to catch up on Paradise too.
It's a bar. It's got a bar and a zombie and
oh, you lost me at zombie.
It got some fire. It got fire in it.
I mean, the fire's all great. The zombie, I'll come back around to zombies. The thing, I don't know.
I love zombies. Come on.
I love zombies until they outplayed me on zombies, which is weird because it's particular because I don't know what it is, but they just started doing all these really fast zombies. Look, we did a whole discussion about zombies on a past stream when we did like horror movie reviews and stuff, and we were rating stuff. And I just wasn't as good at the zombie because I couldn't watch all the zombie movies. They felt like I was kind of watching the same thing slightly over and over again, but that might be just because the zombies were just kind of cookie cutter. They didn't have any personality.
It's not a zombie show. It's a people drama show.
Oh.
The Walking Dead refers to the people who are still alive.
Well, you know. Yeah, it seemed like that in the movies too. You know, like the zombies were kind of there scary, but then a lot of times it was more the people that would fuck it up and cause everybody to die.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, don't matter if it's aliens or supernatural or zombies. I mean, people. You gotta watch out for the people.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, for sure. The
But
real villain.
what is Dark Elf do? Sorry, Dana. What does he do? Do I have to pineapple you? I will press the button. It was trash. Don't talk about our Yellow Jackets. How dare you? I haven't seen it yet. You put bad thoughts in my head. I've not watched it yet. I see, Dana.
Trash.
I'm catching up. I see. You know what? God damn it. Play it.
I see Jen's asking about Last of Us 2. I'm debating it because I know my audience is going to care about it, but I just checked out on the video game season 2, and the show, I liked it. It was fine, but it wasn't as good as the source material. And the fact that I don't like the source material for season 2, I'm just like, I think I'm a pass on it personally.
Mm-hmm.
What about you
guys? I have not watched that one either.
Fair enough. I legitimately think it's better if you watch all of the cutscenes on YouTube of the video game. I think that's better than the season 1 of the show, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So it's like, why does the show exist?
Yeah. If it's good, I'll start looking at it if it's good. And that's about with anything. But if it just sucks, it sucks, I mean, even Dead City.
They did have great production value, though.
I mean, I'll watch Dead City, of course, because it's my channel name all the way through. But, that's something I hate more than anything is to call out my own thing. I'm TWD Explained. I don't want to say Dead City sucks, but I will say it if it's true. Even though I regret saying it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The sequel shows, once they were done with Fear and stuff, it definitely jumped up a bit in quality. So I appreciate it for that, but it's not quite like as good as I was hoping it would be. But I enjoyed Dead City for what it was. Some of the new locations and sci-fi concepts were interesting.
Yeah, it has potential. Daryl Dixon is the example I'm going by at this point, as far as the first season was good and the second one wasn't as good to me. Yeah. So I'm hoping I like Dead City season 1.
Season 2 of Daryl is so contrived.
Yeah, so it's like, what about season 2 of Dead City? How's that going to be? So it's just, I just don't have a lot of expectations, but I hope it's good. I really do.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I think back on Dead City season 1, and my favorite part was when Negan was like old Negan again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. People love that shit.
And seeing him in a position of power where it's like he doesn't want to be there, but he's forced to be there. There's potential there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, is it retreading what we already did?
Yeah. There's a lot of season 2 that may have some of those moments.
Yeah.
Him doing this thing.
Y'all behaving, Dark Elves. God damn it. You have to play. I'm playing it anyways now. Shh, I'm playing. That was on behalf of Data to you, Dark Elf.
Oh, man.
I appreciate that it said pain apple.
That's right.
Love it.
It is a pain apple. Then I probably did misspell that too, because I actually typed that in. I misspelled shit on this stream. I typically
you should have just said it was on purpose, because it's
no, you know what? It's fine.
It's good one.
Good. Now I have to go back and really. God damn it, Data didn't catch it. Data, you're supposed to catch my misspellings. That's what I have here for.
I think it works personally. I think you should leave it. I think it was meant to be that way.
Oh God damn it. Yep. I don't know how to spell.
Hey, listen, all these editing software not having spell check in it, like Adobe.
Yeah, I'm horrible at it. It's fine.
It's burnt me so many times. We've all been there.
I do it all the time. I'm sitting there just typing, and I'm like, I think it's right, and I don't have to check.
Hey, words look different when you're doing it up on a placard versus.
But y'all trying to make me sound like you're being real sweet. Now, I'm honestly no, I can't spell for shit.
No, I'm just saying it is an issue. I do it often too.
It's a thing
Yeah,
where
I miss
when you
typing
don't
something.
pronounce the word probably right to begin with, you don't spell it right. And down here in the South, we damn sure don't pronounce anything right.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
yeah,
and
It's more colorful. It's more fun though.
that's with every culture and society, though. You know, the way they figured out how ancient cultures actually talk, like how their actual vocal of the language goes, is they looked through the trash and they found common people's writings, and the common people wrote how it sounded. They didn't know how to spell, so they
Yeah.
wrote stuff how it sounded. So when they found that stuff like that, they know exactly how that language actually sounded.
So the internet now, 100 years from now, people like let's look at the common people and how they wrote on Facebook.
Man, people will freak out looking at YouTube comments 100
Yeah.
years from now.
Definitely.
Well, no, you just have like 3 letters together, space and 3 letters, and you just spelled out a whole sentence. That's fine.
Definitely. We didn't talk about this Dylan
ridiculous.
scene you got up on screen.
I
We
know.
didn't-
That's why it was the last thing I was thinking about. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was kind of a heartbreaking scene, right?
Right? He's reading a letter. And the first point he wanted to make was fuck you. And then after that, he's like, yo, you know, I understand. She's a fabulous woman.
She's
But
perfect.
she's mine.
Yeah.
You know.
But just
don't
when he
be-
was like, I've never been an impressive person and all that,
Mhm.
like, it's very relatable, you know?
Yeah, it's a good scene there.
Yeah, really good.
He had to take his glasses off for a minute.
Yeah.
He was like, whoa.
It's like, this heavy, man. That's heavy.
Yeah, because he thought he was like, he wanted me to come back. Like, what the fuck? I assumed he wanted me gone.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Helena situation where it was like, you get back in there right now.
And it was cool that he even said, look, if you want to go, go.
Yeah.
But I like you being there. You know, that was real. That was.
He didn't act out of jealousy, you know, and just pull the plug on it. He was like, no. He gave him respect at the end of the day.
Yeah, he understood. I guess it's not the same position as Mark's in or anything like that, but that Audi Dylan kind of reasoned in a way that they wanted Mark's to reason and didn't. Like,
Great
no,
point.
yeah. But yeah, just an overall great episode. Dylan, he doesn't get enough screen time, I think. But
For
when
sure.
he stood before the band, is like, "Fuck you, Milchek."
Right?
When he comes in with the snacks.
That was the
What do you
best.
call that thing? The dispenser. thing?
Yeah,
Love it. Yeah. it was
what a
so good.
hero! What a
Yeah.
hero!
Vending machine.
He's the brave one. He really is.
Oh yeah, he's staying him down all the
If-
time, man. He be going after Milkshake.
If
Yeah.
if Audi Dylan just knew what a hero his innie really was.
Right?
Really, yeah, for sure.
Yep, Dylan's last stand says Data. And Jen the teacher says Dylan has the best. His Audi and Innie understand each other best.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. But yeah, it was, for me all around, I was pleased with the season. I can't wait to see what they give us next season. And yeah, we might. Then
In
I'm still going
2030
to clip
when it
out
comes out.
somehow, right? I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I gotta do something with Milchek's dance thing. That's fucking beautiful. I love the marching band in it. Milchek getting down.
It was so good.
He's still one of my favorite characters, but god damn it, he just knows how to break it down.
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah.
I watched it on the TV. I've just got TV, like the speakers in the TV, and I've
Mhm.
got another TV that's got a sound system, like a little movie thing hooked to it.
Yeah.
I want to watch it on that and like just crank it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Because they were even playing like what Lumen songs or something like that, right? The one that Cobell
Yeah.
was singing.
I forget it. I did recognize the song. I forget exactly where from. But,
Yeah.
we
But I thought
definitely-
it was like the one like Miss Cobell sang it, didn't she?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I can't remember fucking lyrics
But
now.
it was a good beat with the band though, man.
Oh,
They
hell
put it
yeah.
into some funk.
Yeah.
They did indeed.
They got down.
Like
Yeah,
that
the one Cobell saying, yep. It's got to be.
that scene though with the band, that almost deserves an award.
I
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
right?
The choreography,
Good.
The merriment.
Yes,
Forget about it.
they was very merry in their ways.
I just love the idea of like a department of merriment. Like that's such an oxymoron, you know? Like, oh yeah, we're gonna have bureaucracy figure out merriment, enjoying life. That's
Look, and it's even it's logoed on them.
Yeah,
C&M.
C&M.
They got the lumen on them. They're a lumen band.
Yeah, they're graduating.
Oh yeah, it was good. They even did the
Yeah, that was cool. That was a nice touch.
keep the Mark love going.
Yeah, who doesn't love Mark?
Woo! That's right. And this is like I said, like this part was pretty good, right? This was pretty cool. I was like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
man,
it was
get
really
down.
cool.
I was like, all right. And I'm like, oh shit, they gonna do the thing where they do the real breakdown. Oh shit, drum major's out. Oh shit.
That's a good question. Dana's asking if they're all severed. They have to be, right? If they were roused by that speech.
Yeah.
I assume they were.
Yeah, on the floor. It's like, how many other departments does this place have?
Yeah.
Look at that, man. He was so smooth. He was like doing the little shoulder thing.
How much would it suck if like one of those people, their Audi is like, man, I wish I could learn to play instruments. I just don't have time. I'm always at work. And then at work, they're just
Right? You imagine, like, they're really good too. I wonder how bad it is in their department. Like, I'm looking at them like, man, they breaking it down. Like, this is a badass band. But
They
I'm
got the
thinking,
Whiplash, J.K. Simmons in there.
like what if, like, the ones that don't do good?
Yeah, where are they?
Like, you got to train. Like, they have to train for this, right? So, like,
yeah,
what's the punishments for them? We know how they treat the other people.
Yeah, it's a good question.
And I'm telling you right now, man, I did band for 1 year in high school, and summer camp was not fun.
Hey, those guys are the Harlem Globetrotters of band playing.
Right? I mean,
The
did they have
best
to
of
be
the
outside
best.
in the sun? Because this is some bitch
Best
being
of the
outside.
best, man.
Yeah.
And they didn't flinch. She's like, can I get a little help here? And they're like, hell no, we're doing our thing.
Right?
Yeah, no, the whole time she was asking for help, I was thinking, like, wouldn't they want to help Milchek instead? Like,
no, because until he said,
yeah, they must get like punished severely because they didn't react at all. Like they see this happening and they're just like, no, I gotta still
It's
do
part
this
of
thing.
must be part of the show.
The show must go on. You played the flute?
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Yes. Oh, and the Miss Jen, the teacher, played the clarinet. Nice. I was a flag girl. I got to twirl around the flag.
Nice.
Which was very dangerous.
I wish I want to learn how to play an instrument. It's still definitely something I want to have on my bucket list,
Mm-hmm. No,
I have a MIDI keyboard in the closet right over there.
The band camp was
10
not
years
fun.
ago.
It was too hot outside and you just die out there. We would pray for an afternoon thunderstorm. Like literally, there would be a cloud in the sky and we're like, oh, please gather more. At least attempt to look like it's good. Can we get like some thunder in the background? Because then we have to go inside because you can't be on the field if there's like thunder or lightning. Like, oh, please, God. Nope.
Yep, it wasn't meant to be.
No, I did it 1 year and I was like, no, just too much cattiness.
Yeah, that's definitely high school in a nutshell.
Oh yeah. They flag girls, man. They get mean about their spots, man. I'm like, all right,
really?
you can have it. I'm good.
Yeah, it sounds about right. But yeah.
Oh, Bill says I was in the drum line. Oh, what's up?
Nice. We could start our own, department of choreography and merriment.
What's up?
Let's get it.
That's what's up.
Season 3, it's gonna be us.
She wishes she don't touch another man's trombone. Like she just took his instrument and shoved it up in that hole like she knew what she was doing with it.
It was pretty funny. It's very funny.
That was messed up, right? Doing that. She don't know how much that instrument costs. She didn't pay for that.
Yeah. Sorry, Milchick.
I mean, she shoved like 3 of them bitches up there too.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like,
then they all
"Damn,
fall
bro."
down on Dylan.
I
And while I'm
know.
watching it, I'm thinking like, oh, they probably had to make foam instruments as props so that they don't land on the actor's head. Like that's what I think when I watch these shows.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
yeah, Bill. It was implied. The joke was implied. I knew what I was saying.
Yep.
But yeah. No, it was good. Good episode, like I said, for me all around. We got the rise of MDR part or 2.0. So
Yep.
yeah, it was good. Milchek did his thing. Yeah, we got to see this chick. Look, damn near every fucking screenshot I took of her ass, her goddamn mouth was open. I was like, Jesus Christ, lady, do you know how to talk without your mouth being open? But no, she was. I had another one of her
Not the
too.
best pause faces, that's for sure.
Here it is. Here it is again. It's shit. I kid you fucking not.
Devour feculence.
I do. And
Mark
this is- I
kept
like
his
that
word
Mark.
with Mark S. He
Mhm.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He did.
He followed through. But he didn't let Outie Mark, have his life with Gemma. He didn't let him have that.
Nope.
Nope. Sorry. Devour feculence. Yes. Such a great quote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was good too. And we kind of
Yeah,
talked
so
about
good.
that, but that was a good little hang on, I'll go back a little bit. We're up too far. Where is it? There it is. Right about hang on, you almost there. Yeah, that was it was really funny to see the animatronics, because if it was whatever the hell the deal was with it, and then Milchek coming out and
That's
doing the
so
whole
weird, dude.
I know, it's good. It
It
is
was
good.
really funny. Larger than life. Yes. Even his eyes are green, I'm now noticing. To go with the Emerald City Wizard of Oz thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that works.
No, I loved facial expressions. It was good.
For sure. Yeah, there's a lot of subtext in that exchange there.
And then you get fucking Helly and Mark just like, what in the like they were completely like, what in the hell is going on here?
Yeah,
This is not normal.
I was too as well watching it.
What's up, Owen? Glad to see you, hun. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was it was good. This was funny. There was so this was so comical, and the dance was comical, and then we had like a whole scary like accidental, deleting murder scene thing. Like it was good. I was into the episode. Look at this. This was funny too. He drags them away.
Yeah,
and then we get the band. They
so
was
many
rocking
layers
down
to
the
it.
damn hallway.
Yeah, I want to watch it again. The subtext had subtext. Yes. Yes, correct, Dana.
Yeah, I was surprised it was a real band because the music started, before you saw them, and I'm like, that's, when it showed like Dylan like perk his ears up, like I can hear it, like
Yeah.
not a real band, and then it showed the band marching down the hall, like what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not just some speakers. It was
the
great.
whole building. It was like you think everybody down there could hear it.
And it's a huge band. I mean, that's a huge band.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of extras. And they all had choreography.
That was a huge scene, man. Imagine pulling that one off, Brian. Like, it's trying to
Tough.
write the production. Like, okay, how much is this going to cost me? Holy crap!
Yeah.
Right.
And they had a lot of camera angles too, a lot of quick cuts. You could tell watching that. So they must have practiced that for like weeks, the choreography before the shoot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big deal right there. Very expensive scene.
Look, you know how hard that, I mean, maybe actually not nowadays, but that looks hard to cut out perfectly. I wonder if they actually had like somebody measured that shit out, or some kind of machine did it.
Surely they did that. You think CGI or you think that's real?
I have no
I think
idea.
it's CGI,
Is it
probably.
Because you
CGI?
couldn't.
Man, that
you
would be
couldn't
so
pull the
wild if you
camera.
had to cut that shit like that. That'd be fucked
You
up.
couldn't pull the camera back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's higher than the ceiling was. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, it's a set, right? So they could take the ceiling off and go as
Right,
high
but
as they
just-
want. But yeah, it's probably a CGI shot. And then all the cards they're holding up could be green, you know,
Yeah,
because they don't
that's
want to have to worry
true.
about it lining up, right?
That's true.
Or
Damn, and I was
blue
like,
or
damn, they had
whatever.
to cut that shit out. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Mark looks a little
That
bit
looks-
like what's his name? Right there.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I can see it. No, yeah, that's funny. I thought of the same thing. Why does he look a lot older? It's a good question. It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Egan. He didn't have a good episode this week.
No, he was not.
Yep.
Now, was that another one of the, that's not Kier, is it? Who the fuck
It might
is
be one
it?
of the other ones, I guess. I'm not
Because
sure.
it was at the top of the desk, like maybe his father.
No, you know what? That is Kier because that's the one that they made into Milchek. Remember? Like the
Okay.
painting they gave him. It looks like that.
Okay, because
except-
I always
yeah.
think of Kier with the different hairstyle. So yeah, it's probably older. We always see him as the younger guy.
Yeah.
And even in that
no,
older
that's
one, his
Kier.
hair seemed a little bit different. But then again, it's animatronic.
You're right. Yeah, no, there's something unsettling about it.
And Jen says that's Kier. Okay.
That's Kier. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Then they had the other images of him, so it kind of threw me off there. Because, like, even when I looked at the animatronic, it does look like him, I guess, the animatronic. It just, for some reason, it just, wait, that's not the good one. Hang on. I want to get to one where you see its damn face. Like, fucking better. That one.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he doesn't have the full beard. That's
Yeah,
probably
see,
what's
it's the
throwing you
beard
off.
and the hair. Because, see, he's, like I said, his hair was a little bit thicker. This seems like a younger,
Yeah.
slightly younger or something. Because he's just slightly off. Because even when we see his, like, image and other depictions, he always has more of the darker hair and, like I said, the beard and everything. So, I don't know.
Maybe they altered him slightly, like they did his height.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
definitely. Larger than life. Yeah,
But
for
yeah.
sure.
But that is going to do it for us tonight, guys. Yes, we're closing it down, Miss Vic. I know it's time.
Yeah, same here.
But we thank you all for joining us tonight and talking some Severance. And thank you guys all on the panel for joining us. James, Ryan, and of course, Dana. Love you guys. Always welcome back anytime. And I know James will definitely be back. Hopefully Monday night, right? We're doing it Monday night, Yellow Jackets. Woo!
Yeah.
Buzz,
Not
buzz,
me,
buzz.
though. I'm sorry. I can't catch up in time. But yeah, thanks for having me on again. Really appreciate it. And I hope to come on with some other shows. If you guys end up covering Dead City, definitely let me know. Or, anything in the future.
We'll have to get together, Brian. If they may not, we'll get with Dana maybe.
Yeah, because I know
and,
Dana definitely
we'll do
wants to do it
something.
with you. I may have
Yeah,
to
that'd
sit
be
out
awesome.
on it, and that's totally fine.
Yeah,
'Cause I
definitely.
don't know if I have time to catch up.
Yeah, for
Maybe.
sure. But yeah, just hit me up anytime. Definitely
Sounds good.
enjoy streaming with y'all. So hope
Oh,
to do it
yeah.
again soon. Yeah. And thanks to the chat, of course, for making this possible.
Yes, thank you guys in the chat for hanging out with us. You guys are awesome. Always got great comments, and we learn things from you guys. It's always fun. So yeah, hope you guys have a great Friday night and a great rest of your weekend. If we don't see you before Monday, which I may be streaming a little bit more now, doing some gaming streams, so you might see some of that pop up on the channel this weekend. We'll see what we get into. But otherwise, guys, again, thank you all. We love you. Have a good night, and we will see you all next time.
Thanks.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Paint me a scene, city in color, the way that you see, the way you see it. Don't you wish that I could give you everything? mountain. Can't fall asleep, I got my mind in a throw. Weightless, floating through the day. Trust that I'll be okay. I'm happy alone, but a little waiting for you. Wait until you realize. Waiting for you. Wait until you realize. If you wanna run ahead, I'll meet you where the water meets the earth we cling to. If you wanna find the edge, I'll come too. I could run around this world all day with you. I could show you this world around you. Through my eyes, my whole view. The place I love, the place I cling to, cling to, place I cling to, cling to, cling to. Waiting for you.